With the infinite skyline of Sao Paulo, Brazil as our backdrop, we welcome you to the Vans Legacy Skate Park and stop number 2 of the 2019 Vans Park Series. The Vans Park Series Pro Tour is the premier stop for park terrain skateboarding, the fastest growing discipline in skateboarding today. Combining all aspects of culture, street, and transition, the Park Series is home to the most exciting show in skateboarding. The women's field is deeper than ever this year. Defending event champion Sakura Yosizumi will not only be looking to defend her title in Brazil, but continue her winning streak from the first stop of the year in Shanghai, China. But she's got eyes on her trail, with Brazilian natives like Indiara Asp and Dora Varela on the hunt, and massive support from the passionate skate fans here in Sao Paulo. The suspense grows in the women's division as reigning world champion Brighton Zoyner has yet to dominate a podium in 2019. Eager Japanese contenders like Kokona Haraki and Kihana Ogawa seize their chance to prove their ranks against the world's best. Every skater in the field is looking to match the passionate energy the Brazilian skate fans bring to this park, providing the perfect arena for an incredible event. The second stop of the 2019 Vans Park Series starts right now.
Boys are throwing down out here.
What's up, skate fans? Welcome to Sao Paulo, Brazil for stop number 2 on the 2019 Vans Park Series. Women's finals is about to take off. Chris Cote here with Tony Hawk, and we are fired up and we're backed up by a crowd thousands strong that are just ready and willing to watch this all go down. This is going to be an epic day of skateboarding.
It's the Brazilian way. I've seen skateboarding grow here, and the passion is always so palpable. I mean, it's like I came here in the mid-'80s, and it never stopped. And they are so excited to see their hometown heroes here, too.
Where we already saw the fans doing the wave behind us. More of that to come. But how did we get here to Sao Paulo, and where will we go from here? Let's take a look at the entirety of the 2019 Vans Park Series. Of course, we started off with a heavy event in Shanghai, China. It was Sakura Yosizumi blitzing the field, getting the win at an incredible park down there. But from here on out, these are all purpose-built permanent skate parks, Tony, starting with our next stop up in Montreal, Canada.
It's exciting. Canada always has a super strong skate scene. Maybe not the numbers that we have here in Brazil, but just as excited. And I can tell you, Montreal loves transitions, so it's going to be great to see a new park there.
And of course, you have a long history of skateboarding in Paris, France. Always excited to go to Paris, especially for an event like this.
Absolutely, and it's going to be the European epicenter. So all the other people are going to come here from Europe. The crowd is going to be crazy. I mean, any skate event that happens in Europe, everyone comes to. And the idea that they're going to have a park of this caliber in Paris is pretty strange.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it this entire tour. We're leaving these parks here. These are Vans Legacy skate parks, and there will be one more after Paris. That's right, Salt Lake City is going to be our finals. Tony, that's where we're going to be crowning a men's and women's park world champion.
And Salt Lake has some parks, but they could use an upgrade. So I think this will be a great addition, but it's going to be exciting to see how everything comes together for the finals there in the U.S.
Well, we're about, I don't know, 150 feet away from the crowd, but we've got a guy embedded right there in the mix. Chris Pastras is on the deck. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Yes, the energy down here is nuts. The crowd is going crazy. Some of the highest energy we've seen all year. Lots of eyes are on Sakura Yosizumi. She's fresh off VPS China. she won that in May. She won this stop here in Brazil last year, so she's got this park dialed. Also look out for our defending world champ, Bryton Zoyner, who is looking stronger than ever. And lastly, do not count out the crowd favorite, Indyara Asp, who is skating on fire, and this crowd is behind Indy. Who are you guys excited about?
Well, we're just as excited about the skateboarding we're about to see as you and the fans, Pastors. The history here in Sao Paulo and Brazil in general goes deep in skateboarding, a true DIY scene in so many ways. Let's take a look at Jeff Grosso's Love Letters to Skateboarding, talking Brazil.
Welcome back to The Letters. I'm your host, Jeff Grosso, and this is Brazilian skateboarding.
I don't know, it's just kind of, you know, like the way the roads are built here, the way the paid phones in the street look alike, the way the buildings are all graffitied up, you know, the way it mixes the green ass trees with the sun, and like, it's just Brazilian vibe in general. I think it's that culture that lives in Brazil out of skateboarding that makes skateboarding in Brazil have its own flair.
Like a DIY, man. We did it because we have to do it, man. We have no shoes, we have to do shoes. We have no boards, we have to do boards.
The DIY ethos runs deep. It's more than just building a couple spots. It's about building an entire scene, shoes, magazines. The whole deal was built by Brazilians for Brazilians.
That's because they're so excited and they're so passionate. Exactly that. They couldn't get the imported goods here, so they're like, let's do it ourselves.
I love it. Well, Christian Hosoi has been coming to Brazil for a long time, and we got a Brazilian legend on hand as well. Hosoi and Lincoln Ueda.
Hey, Christian Hosoi here. I'm with Brazilian legend, one of my favorite skateboarders in the world, Lincoln Ueda, and we're here at the Vans Park Series. I know that they just had a Grosso premiere of the Love Letters to Brazil, and you were highly featured. Tell me about that, but also tell me about the whole Brazilian scene, why it is so on fire, you know, and the energy is so high here.
Yeah, definitely. I just watched like a few days ago Love Letters, and I loved it. Actually, I learned a bunch of things, a lot of stuff from the history, and you know, like from the OGs that I've seen it. And well, skateboarding in Brazil, it's pretty big. It's been popular. Like, it's the second, biggest sport, and we got so many great talent, and we love skateboarding. That's why we're here.
You know, Lincoln Denver likes to talk about himself, but you know, he's a huge part of the whole skateboarding scene here. But now he's a judge here at the Vans, Park Series. How much pressure is it for you, and how hard is it judging the women and the men these days?
It's really hard. It's really tough. You know, we got 3 judges out there. Like, it's me, Jason Rathmeyer, and Kyle Berard, and we're still skating, and we keep skating, and we just, we love the way the Vans puts out this. It's a different, I feel like Vans Park Series brings like the progression. We like the speed, the style, the evolution of skateboarding. So that's what we all like to see it.
You heard it. Speed, style, obviously technical abilities. We're here, Vans Park Series. Back to you guys up in the booth. Lincoln Ueda, Christian Hosoi on deck.
Right on. Thanks, Christian. A lot of airtime between those two guys.
Oh, yes. Lincoln, I do a lot of demos with Lincoln. He's our go-to big air guy. And if you're going to do any sort of doubles or triples, Lincoln is the one to go over you.
I love it. Well, the qualifiers yesterday, absolutely insane. The women came here early and did damage to this park. Here's how we got our 8 finalists. Take a look at the qualifiers.
Yeah, and just a bit, we are going to get the Vans Park Series 2019 women's semifinals here in Sao Paulo. Started off.
And that's how we got to our 8 finalists, some new faces, some Park Series veterans, and a world champion in the mix there. This is a fun part of the show, Tony. This is where we get to make our picks. Not necessarily who's going to win, but who we want to see ripping today. Tony, we're going to start with you. Who is your pick for today's finals?
Well, an obvious crowd favorite, but also one of my favorites is Indiara Asp, because she's from here. She's come a long way. She's super powerful, goes really fast, and she has such a great selection of 80s tricks that she does well. They're not novelties, they're difficult. And she chooses some of the hardest lines in the park. Like, she will go from a big transition to and land in a small transition and keep her speed up.
Always fun to watch, and you know who the crowd is behind. Absolutely, Indiara Asp, solid pick there, Tony. For my pick, I'm going with a Park Series veteran, Jordan Barrett. You know, she pretty much cruised through qualifiers. She's looking comfortable at this park. She's healthy, happy, and hyped to be in Brazil. And those 3 things right there are of the utmost importance to Jordan. We know when she's happy and having fun, she's going to be ripping. So I'm looking for Jordan Barrett. Now let's go down to the deck. Chris Pastris, who you got?
What's up, guys? I am going to double down on Tony's pick with Indiara Asp. A few different reasons. She got second here last year, so she's got this park completely dialed. She's skating with even more power and confidence than she was when she got second last year. And then same reason as Tony said, crowd favorite, entire country of Brazil is behind her. So I'm going with Indiara Asp. Go Indy.
Solid pick, Pastris. Well, Indiara Asp has been on everyone's mind as we come to the finals here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's get to know this amazing young skater a little bit better. Here is Indiara Asp.
My name is Indiara Asp, and I'm from Florianópolis, Brazil. Here in Floripa, we have more like the bowl scene. And we don't have usually good skate spots, skate parks, so we have to be rough, you know? The builder of the Van Skate Park was sick. It helps to have more skaters coming in. And now it's there. They didn't build it and broke it. We had the contest that I was so stoked just to be there and to be skating good because I love that park. I think the Brazilian skate scene is so rad because our vibe when we are skating, it's just the best sessions ever.
Indiara repping the RTMF crew from Florianópolis, and she said right there, you have to be tough growing up skating in Floripa, and she is absolutely one of the toughest. And she is, I would say, the biggest hype machine of that whole group. She's always getting the crowd going. Indiara Asp right now, right when she got here this morning, she's already throwing her hands up to the crowd, and they're right behind her.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they saw her coming. She didn't need to show. It was like, there she is, and then she waved to the crowd, and it erupted. So it's been really fun to see that.
Well, as we move into the finals, we'll see if the hometown hero can pull things through. This is what we're looking at format-wise here. Vans Park Series finals will go as follows. All skaters get 4 runs each, 40 seconds max. Skate until you fall on Tony. The first wall rebate will come in on the 4th run only. That's the first chance to a Hail Mary.
It's big. I love that. It's like it's your own little mini best trick event.
I love it too. Well, the best 1 run counts, so we can see skaters building up to the potential perfect run or just drop that hammer on their first run. You never know what's going to happen with these 4 runs, best run counts format. So there you have how we're going to get our winner. And of course, we talked about the judges earlier. We got an eclectic, well-rounded group of judges, and they're looking for the best high-speed skating. And they're going to see it with these 8 skaters: Dora Varela, Kihana Ogawa, Sakura Yosizumi, Indiara Asp, Isadora Pacheco, Jordan Barrett, Kokona Hiraki, and Brighton Zoyner. One thing of note, you see you've got multiple skaters coming out of Japan to team up and match up against these Brazilians and 2 American skaters.
I've seen the Japanese skaters actually improve since Shanghai, learning new tricks, so they are really hard to catch right now.
Yeah, their development has been so rapid. I mean, 4 years ago, to have 3 finalists from Japan would have been kind of a fluke. But now we're seeing it in every contest, street and park.
Absolutely, and they're picking the hardest tricks to do, so that's been a great addition.
Well, let's get right into it, starting with 17-year-old from right here in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Dora Varela, representing Hasoi Skateboards. We saw Hasoi kind of coaching from the sidelines. Here we go, first run of the finals, Tony.
looks like she's trying to stay as conservative as possible. First run is always rough, especially when you're the first up in the finals. So it's like, let me just get one on the board here. Even that's risky, 50-50 over that love seat. A lot of the girls are rolling out. They're not leaning in far enough.
Yeah, and that's been a spot that has taken skaters out since this park has been built. So definitely not an easy way to get through your run. Dora with 4 seconds left.
So you can see she's staying a little conservative with the cars and the kick turns. It's like, just get one on the board and then build on that.
It's just a good contest strategy.
That was it.
You hear the fans behind her. Tony, you've been both the hometown hero and the visiting villain. Which one has more pressure?
They work. Both of them can be used to your advantage. Because if you got the crowd behind you, you get hyped. If you get your crowd against you, it's like, all right, I'm gonna prove them wrong. I'm fired up.
Different ways to get yourself fired up.
I'd rather have them behind me though.
Exactly. Here you go, replay from Dora Varela. First score of the finals, 67.77.
Yeah, I don't know if that seems pretty solid for what she did there. There were a few walls that she clearly didn't do anything too risky, just to stay on, which she'll probably add later on. A lot of these girls were trying way harder tricks just now in practice than we saw in the semis.
It's the build-up. They're setting that foundation.
So
Isadora Pacheco.
It's a fine line on that love seat. You're leaning kind of outside to clear the whole thing, but if you're not in far enough, or if you're in too far, you're just going to fall into the love seat itself.
And I can't reiterate enough. I mean, we rolled around this park yesterday, and these ladies make it look like it's a mini ramp, but I tell you, this park is big everywhere you roll, and that love seat is no joke. So Isadora Pacheco, just a quick up and out. This is Kihana Ogawa, 18-year-old from Japan. She's got 40 seconds on the clock. Skate until you fall.
Wow, oh no.
She fell early. So finally,
those
a
two
skater that's
walls
kind of
right
pushing.
there, that first transition is very tight, and it's got way more vert than you expect. So when you see people struggling with that wall or doing anything, you got to realize that is one of the most difficult parts of the park.
So Kihana, just a couple tricks. And she bails, so she'll have 3 more goes. Coming up next, Jordan Barrett, representing Hawaii, currently living in Oceanside. Jordan, a Vans Park Series podium veteran, always seems to be in the top 3.
Yeah, she's got really good contest strategy. She knows what it takes to get in the finals, what it takes to get a run that'll get her in the placings, and then go from there. And this run has been her stable right here with Eggplant, 50-50. Now she's having a hard time with this blunt backside 180 in right here. We'll see if she makes it. She's got it. Oh no, that's been her sort of Achilles heel every time, especially in practice.
You know, if she can clean that up, that is going to be a solid run. So Jordan Barrett growing up surfing and skating on the North Shore of Oahu. And we just got word that Love Letters to Skateboarding is going to be releasing a Hawaii episode. And we both have been singing the praises of the Brazil Love Letters episode that just came out. If you haven't seen it yet, after the contest, of course, go check it out. You'll learn something. Sakura Yoshizumi, speaking of learning something, Sakura seems to learn a new trick before every contest. Definitely the most technical of the field.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stuff that she's doing are like some of the top difficulty mini ramp tricks that we see just for videos, not just something you're going to do in a contest.
I had never heard of Sakura.
Oh, and this 360, we did not see her do that in qualifying. I only saw her make that once in practice. So that was a pretty risky move for her first run.
Sakura pretty much put her name on the international skate map last year here in Brazil. Came down here, we're going, oh, Sakura Yoshizumi, let's see what she's got. She did 150 tricks in her run, every variation of technical kind of mini ramp tricks mixed with the power skating in the deep end. So Sakura, definitely a threat to take the win here. And we had another relative newcomer to the scene here, Kokona Hiraki. You know who her favorite skateboarder is?
Who's
Jeff Grosso.
Are you sure it's not just a political move for these events?
It's on all my paperwork on her.
Now that right there, that crail slide on that vert wall is no joke.
She's 10 years old. I'm
It's
reading
amazing
right.
that
these are facts on this paper.
It
Ross has her
doesn't look
favorite,
like,
she's 10
oh,
years
look at
old.
that nose grind around the corner. That is one of the most technical moves you're going to see in this event. And that nose grind to back lip, kickflip, wow. We might have a winning run right there.
I might just eat my words about Sakura being the most technical because that was the most high-tech run we've
Those
seen.
those
women.
three end tricks were just the bangers. Like that's going to set her over the top right there.
Look at the replay for our youngest skater in the field and most likely our leading skater at this point.
And that wall has got too much vert for such a small transition.
Tight pocket right there as well.
Nose grind. She does that
Oh my
every
gosh.
time. Nollies in too.
If I could just, I want that trick. Can I just, if I could just somehow have that trick from Kokona. There's the score, 76.43. As we expected, our current leader, youngest skater, current leader. And there go the cheers for Indiara Asp for her second run. She's one of the stars of the Vans Vanguards campaign with Brighton Zoiner. Definitely an incredible representative, not just for Brazilian skateboarding or female skateboarding, but just for skateboarding in general. Indy rules.
Oh no, missing that backside Smith. She's got two more chances.
So it leaves a lot of time all on the board. Like you said, 2 more chances for Indiara. She's always been kind of a clutch skater. And definitely not afraid to take a slam. She is as tough as they come. Coming up next, Brighton Zoiner. Brighton is also a star of the Vans Vanguards campaign. And super consistent skater. Get the chance to see her a lot skating around Encinitas and the new parks in San Diego. She's always ripping.
She finds the smallest transition to get speed on too. Oh wow, lip slide, we haven't seen that before. Look at this, she's almost forcing this line, like making really tight turns to get to the wall she wanted to hit.
Well, one thing the judges are looking for is, use of the park. Bam.
Here we go.
Every wall.
Oh wow, 50-50 to fake you through the corner.
She hasn't missed a wall. Wow.
Oh no, missing the fast punt right at the end. I don't think it's going to hurt her very much.
Yeah, it could have been right after time. So,
but that could be a delineation right there.
Yeah, if she can get that trick in, I mean, this run, like I said, the whole park used every wall, a deep end corner right there.
Wow, that put her in first.
There you go, 80.63. Talking to her dad and Jeff Grasso. All right, so as it stands now, Brighton Zoiner, solid run there with room to grow if she fits in that last trick. Here's your current standing for the women's finals. Brighton in the lead, Kokona Haraki in second, Dora third, Jordan in fourth, Sakura Yosizumi in fifth, Isadora Pacheco, Indiara Asp, and Kihana Ogawa, 6th, 7th, and 8th. What are you expecting to see change with these next 2 runs, Tony?
Wow, well, if we see Sakura put down a run and Jordan, they could definitely be giving Brighton a run for money. But it's pretty obvious just from those runs that the judges are really looking for the amount of tricks now, because that's what Brighton had going for her. She hit more walls than anyone and did tricks on every wall, not just carves.
You see the judging criteria, just what you're talking about, the combination of maneuvers. So the judges do not like to see you repeat tricks, and they don't want to see you carve too much. They want to see you pack the time with tricks, but make it look good and stylish. And that's what Brighton did to get that lead. Here we go, Dora Varela over that sketchy love seat.
Not making it over the love seat there.
I like to close my eyes when they come in over that love seat. It's so sketchy. So she's doubling down over that love seat, going front side
Yeah,
and
that
back
thing
side.
requires a minimal speed that she just didn't have right there.
Any preference for you going over something like that? Front side, back side? Is there an easier way to go?
Backside, because you can see it the whole way.
You look down at it and know how far you have to go.
You know you're going to clear it.
All right, so Dora Varela, she's going to sit on that 67.77. so far for her high score. She's currently in 3rd place. And from Florianopolis, Brazil, 14 years old, this is Isadora Pacheco. First run, a no-go, 22.90, but she's already looking like she's doing better.
Here we go. Love seat, check. Oh, nice 5-0 around the corner. We don't see that very much. Yeah, she's making sure there are no setups here.
All right, 10 seconds to go.
Oh, lean to tail. Was that going to be a revert? Her body looked like it was going to continue turning there.
Yeah, you can tell she was forecasting the revert. Well, she only leaves 7-8 seconds on the clock. Definitely going to improve on the 22.90. Here's a replay from Isadora. So there's that feeble around the corner. In terms of hardest grinds to do around a corner, front feeble has to be up there with the toughest grind to do when you're going around a corner like that.
Yeah, it's hard to hold it all the way through, but I say back tails are the hardest.
Kihana Ogawa, 18 years old, from Japan. Another skater mentored by Christian Hosoi.
So she didn't get this far in her last run.
They're just sitting on an 11.
Oh, that 5-0, holding it, clearing it. There we go.
It almost looked like it took her a minute to recover from making that trick over that love seat.
Well, front center in the corner is much riskier than doing on the flat wall too, because there's a good chance the corner is going to catch up to you and hang up. Oh, kickflip rock. You could tell she was saving that for last. That was definitely the riskiest move of that line. Kickflip rock to fakie.
So when the judges see a trick like that, obviously it's a super hard trick. When they kind of pause a little bit mid-trick, are they taking away potential points for?
I think, yeah, they definitely would count for a little bit more, but the fact that she did it at the end and made it, I don't think it's going to change that much. But for sure, people would rather see you do something not stalled at all.
It's almost sketchier the longer you stall, the more you have time to think about hanging up.
Well, she had to fix her feet.
So that score comes through, vastly improving in the 11.10, a 72.90, and here we go back to Jordan Barrett for her second run.
Oh no.
All right, so it'll be a no-go for Jordan Barrett. Maybe overthinking things a little bit right there, projecting.
I think
into
she's
the next
looking
trick.
ahead. She's thinking about, well, definitely thinking about that blunt and other things, and not really focusing on the moment in hand.
All right, so Jordan, she'll get 2 more goes. The women's finals. This is Sakura Yosizumi. Potential to get herself into the lead here. Anytime Sakura drops in, we know what she's capable of.
Oh, nice. Backside ollie in the deep end.
Love that backside ollie she's got. She doesn't just, it's so floaty.
There it is, 360. She was hoping for it.
Nailed it.
Landing kind of low. You can see, oh, wow. Axel stall to 270 in.
Yeah, this is kind of
all this stuff with the backside revert is super dangerous and risky to do in a run. Oh, what?
Yep.
Backside nose blunt, backside revert. I think we might have a new leader.
Warranted claim right there. That was crazy. I love how she kind of has segments to her run. She goes deep end, carves around a couple times, and then she goes straight into the tech enders. Right there, she packed 4 crazy mini ramp style tricks at the end of her run. That is going to be a big score.
Right there with that backside, she did a bonk too. Didn't hit her tail like a veteran vert skater. And this backside nose blunt, backside revert. I would claim that if I had just only been trying that all day.
Absolutely, trick of the day for sure. Now the judges are thinking about it. Score comes through, and boom, there you go, 86.33. New benchmark set by Sakura Yosizumi. Remember, she won here in 2018 with a similar run, but like we said earlier, she adds tricks every event.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough to beat.
Kokona Hiraki out of Hokkaido, Japan, 10 years old. He skates like a veteran, so consistent. Every trick is done just flawlessly.
With that is one of the hardest transfers for sure, because
scary.
It's like a spine with a gap in it, and it's really hard to adjust your body and not land on the flat.
15 seconds left for Kokona. No worries there. Cleared the love seat by 2 feet. Oh, that nose grind every time.
And she's trying to get this kickflip in before time. And time is end, but that was her best kickflip we've seen.
So if you're going up towards the final wall as time is ending, there's a fine line there. If you're already kind of projecting into your trick, they'll give you that last trick. It's up to the judge's discretion for that one.
I feel like that was almost the same run as she did last time, so the judges have a baseline to go on. They could probably add a little bit because she went a little higher and a little cleaner.
So the score comes through. It's right there, 75.80, so just under the 76.43.
They didn't count that kickflip then.
Yeah, you're right. That was a little too late. Indiara asked 40 seconds on the clock. From the deep, gnarly bowls of Florianopolis.
There you go.
Perfect backsmith. Trademark boneless wall.
Love that slob fast plant from the big transition to the small, and then keeps her speed up here. Layback air. There you go. There's that rollout problem, but she recovered.
4 seconds left. Last trick.
Solid run.
We see the speed.
There was a little bit of repetition there. So, like, we saw a couple different 5.0s. But definitely her best run that she's done this time.
Speed-wise, it looks like Indiara's a step up from the rest of the field.
Oh, sure, especially with stuff like this, that Smith grind. When you're coming up in the smaller transition and coming out in the big one, that's hard to adjust and keep your speed up. And the only one doing layback airs in the finals, which I really appreciate.
Indy waiting for her score. It's gonna be it's interesting because that was a more kind of a power skating run going up against the technical skateboarding of Kokona and Sakura. The judges are gonna have to kind of take that in consideration, waiting for scores. We see the 86.34 as the score to beat right now. Indiara with a 75.80, so some room to go there, but now she's up into 4th place.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What do you think she can do to add to that?
She's got to not repeat those tricks, especially with the 5.0s and trying to get from one place to the other. She's wasting a lot of time with the carves. So if you look at Brighton, every wall is a trick here.
So Brighton got the news. She had a brief lead there with the 80.63. Now she's got to step it up to an 86 plus.
Yeah, I mean, just that Smith grind to lip slide to Andrek combo, and then right over to this. That's like 4 tricks within 7 seconds.
Yeah, she's got a different kind of read on this part. Still skating with urgency as well.
Blackside Blunt just dialed.
So easy.
Here we go. There it is. Yeah, oh, and the fast plant that she missed last time,
Ooh,
it was after time. But that was still a more powerful run than her first. I don't think the score is going to be significantly higher, but I would be surprised if it's lower.
You can tell too. She knows that
it's all or nothing now.
Yeah, now it's just pushing every run to the next level. 80.97 does slightly improve. She's in 2nd place now. And now for her, the decisions have to be made. What tricks do you take out to get to those potential end tricks? Or do you stick with that run and just try to do everything a little bit higher, faster?
I think you just go all out. I think for her, in her next run, that seems like the run that she came here to do. So just try everything on this next one. Don't hold back.
All right, so as we have all of our second runs in the books, let's go down to the deck. Chris Pastris is with Christian Hosoi.
Yes, I'm with one of the legends of park terrain skateboarding, Christian Hosoi. So Christian, thoughts on what we're seeing here in this women's semifinal?
It's amazing. I mean, a lot of pressure. I remember being in the finals, and there's just a lot of pressure. So these girls are working through that first couple runs. I think these next couple runs are going to be where they pull out all stops. You know, obviously hometown favorites, Indy and Dora, Isadora. The crowd's cheering for them. Then you got Japan, you know, Kiana, Sakura, and Kokona just pushing their limits. But also America is coming in hot with Brighton and Jordan Barrett. And for me, this is a great finals because it's putting pressure on everyone to do their best. And so right now Dora's in, and she's got to put down another solid run that's going to impress the judges. I think that's going to be the huge thing of Park Series judging, is the overall impression, not just tricks, not just power and style, but I think it's going to be overall impression too. And I think the judges are starting to understand that more.
Flow, sure. And I know we got another legend in the booth in Tony Hawk. You guys battled it out in competition in the 80s. It was a bit of a story of technicality and difficulty versus style with yourself. Do you see that story happening here in women's?
Oh, very much so, because there's girls that have power and style, and then you have girls that are doing technical tricks, and it's a tough judge. You know, if I was a judge, I'd be like having a difficult time. I'd have to understand skateboarding. That's why it's like, it's awesome to have skaters up there, but to keep up with the new tricks, the new parks, to be able to, you know, I think that the judges should ride the course, because, you know, understanding where it's hard and where it's easy, I couldn't tell before I wrote it. You know, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, predicting, and then I wrote it and I was like, okay, it's different than I thought. And so it's a tough judge.
You know, you've got a ton of competition experience. I see you coaching on these girls. What words of advice do you give the women?
Well, I mean, I always give them the same advice. It's like, you got to be passionate, you got to be diligent, you got to focus, you got to have somewhat of a plan, but also you got to be spontaneous. We learned that spontaneity and being creative is a big part of skateboarding, and that's why when you have different runs, it gives the judges an open mind to your ability to adapt to any terrain versus one run, I'm going to do it, and that's going to be the best run. Yeah, it might be a great run, but to do that 10 times in a row from prelims to the finals, it can get a little bit monotonous, but you know, if you're going to bring that, it better.
Yeah, Isadora. Amazing run right there for Isadora.
Isadora just killed it. Under pressure, hometown, and her choreographed run was what the judges and what the crowd needs to see. Finishing strong. I always tell them, all the girls, and I don't just train and coach my girls, I coach all the girls because I love the women's, you know, culture of skateboarding. And for me to see them grow and to get their just due with the prize purse, to see them, you know, step up to the plate too. Not only with, you know, them getting a fair share, but also their abilities are rising to a whole new level, and it's exciting to see.
Yeah, and let's talk about that progression we're seeing. Why do you think it's happening so quickly? I mean, we've got a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old dominating our final.
I think it's evolution, it's progression. I think that we're seeing, you know, the younger girls and guys understanding how skateboarding is. Like when we grew up, we took airs to 10 feet where they were only 3 to 4 feet. And then you saw the McTwist come in by Mike McGill, and we were like, oh, we're gonna take that higher. And then all of a sudden, we're like, you know what? Sky's the limit. Flip tricks, varials, one-footed airs. Obviously, you know, me inventing a couple tricks, the rocket air and the Christ air. These were a progression, and I think that we're starting to see that in the women's category because of what's happening today.
Right on, Christian Hosoi. Honored to have you here. Yes, we love you. Back to you boys upstairs. Thank you, Christian.
Thanks, Pastris. Thanks, Christian. So as we just saw right there, Isadora Pacheco dropping a 76.03. Kiana, just a quick in and out with a 33.30. We're back to Jordan Barrett. She needs an 86.34.
Oh, no. She keeps overshooting that that gap right there. Sliding out. She's got one more chance.
It's frustrating.
Too bad that wasn't first wall rebate right there.
Exactly.
Last wall.
Next run. We'll see what she'll pull out there, and see if Jordan can regather herself, dropping a couple fours right there. Her first one was looking pretty solid, 52.97. She's usually so consistent. I'm kind of surprised right now, but she's got one more chance. Here we go, Sakura Yosizumi, your current leader, sitting on an 86.33. The consistency with this one, she is just...
Yeah, I don't know
if
where
I've ever
she
seen
could
her
really
fall.
go from that last run, except to step it up with the height and the speed. And you can't, the issue with that, with those transfers, there's an exact speed you need there, so you can't increase it until you land.
Yeah, and that island in the middle, it's steeper than it looks from that angle. So
Yeah, it's pretty unforgiving.
yeah, when you're kind of launching from that other side, the potential to land in the flats is high. So Sakura right there, she'll be sitting on that 86.33. And she's happy with that score, well above what we've seen from any of the other skaters in this final. Kokona Hiraki, she's got the potential to catch her. She's got a 76, a 75, so a very consistent score line.
She's got those fast disasters, Jimmy Wilkins style.
I just trip out that she's 10 years old. It's crazy to me how good she is. 10 years old.
Yeah, my daughter's 10. I can't imagine even trying to explain what a crail slide is to her at this point.
My son's 10 and just getting the skate bug, and it's obvious that Kokona's had the skate bug probably since age 3. She's that good, usually super consistent there. Goes down with about 10 seconds left on the clock. She'll have one more run. She charges too, unafraid.
Yeah, well, and that's the attitude, you know, the whole idea that you're going to fall, just run back up and try it again. Or you're in a contest and you just got to hustle.
Crowd
a
noise
lot
tells
of girls,
us,
especially her age, would just be deflated if they fell.
oh yeah. Crowd noise tells us that Indiara Asper's dropping in.
Oh, wow.
That is crazy.
That wasn't even first ball rebate. That was just pure risk.
You talk about unafraid.
Now here she just needs to stay on her usual run. That's just second nature to her. Oh, nice. Ollie up to 50-50.
Here we go. You just got to stay on now. 8 seconds left.
Smith Grinder on the corner, last trick. Oh, frontside feeble. That definitely bumped up her score. Oh no, that frontside 50-50 to Fakie. It was after time, but you can see how dangerous those tricks are. When you're coming in blind, can't see the transition, and suddenly you're on your back on the flat.
She didn't need that trick. That was after
She didn't
time.
need it at all, but she had everyone behind her. She had to give him something else. This right here
Tell me
is
about how
so
sketchy
risky,
that is.
especially coming off different angles.
It's a round rail too.
A round rail, yeah, it's a good chance your truck's gonna fly off or it's going to turn too much on you. And then this, I only saw her make that twice in practice.
The probability of starting your run off with potentially the worst slam of your life coming off that bar into that transition.
Wow, look at that.
Waiting for the score to
We
drop.
have a new leader.
88.90 for Indiara Asp, answering exactly what the crowd wanted. So what was it about that run that was that much better than Sakura's run?
That was it, her difficulty factor, the idea that the fact that she went off that rail into the bank, that she was doing all her other tricks as well, doing the transfers, going over she went over love seat 2 different ways. I mean, she used the park to its advantage and did her hardest tricks.
So as it stands now, power is reigning supreme so far over technicality. Brighton Zoyner, who's got a great mix of both right now, putting it down. 25 seconds to go. Sticking to the same line, but just you can tell just adding some speed.
Yeah, you can tell she's pushing her legs to work harder. 360, we haven't seen her do that. Everyone's taking chances.
All right, so third runs completed for our 8 women here in the finals. And now we get down to it, Tony. 4th and final runs for all of our skaters. This is where we could potentially see that first wall rebate come into play. Here is your leaderboard from Florianopolis, Brazil. We can call her a hometown hero because obviously the crowd is behind her. Indiara Asp just threw it down, 88.90. Just a step above Sakura Yoshizumi with her tech attack. Brighton Zoiner in 3rd, Kokona in 4th, Isadora in 5th, Kihana in 6th, Dora in 7th. Surprisingly, Jordan Barrett in 8th place.
We would love to see Jordan pull a run here. She's got one more chance. I feel like Indy and Sakura have done what they think is their best run so far, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of risks they take after that.
And from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Dora Varela, 17 years old. She is on the Brazilian Olympic skateboarding team. So for her, all the work that she's done to get herself to this place on the global skate scene, she's gonna rely on that, on all that experience right now. 17 years old, she's already a veteran in the skate game. This is her 4th and final run here in the finals. Crowd letting her know they're behind her. Here we go, Dora Varela. And no need for that first wall rebate. She's straight into it.
Yeah, I think she just wants to step up her previous run. Maybe a little more flair, a little bit harder tricks. Nice frontside rock.
She's got a rad style. Fun to watch. 10 seconds left.
Whoa, little crooked cop with the tweak, and her time's up, but she doesn't care. Lip slide.
That was for the fans and for us. You're welcome. Love that lip slide around the corner there in the deep end. Fired up.
Probably a better score than her last one. Not sure if it'll put her ahead of Kokono, but like she kicked the tail out with that.
That was cool. Just the added flair. I mean, that's exactly what the judges want to see.
You know the judges take notice of that.
Yeah. They are all about the subtleties of the tricks that these women are doing. A 71.23. It's not going to get her into the top 3, but a solid showing. She has 3 big scores on the board, a 67, a 70, and a 71. So super consistent. Either way you slice it, a solid result for Dora Varela. Now we go to Isadora Pacheco from Florianopolis, Brazil. There's that first wall rebate.
First wall rebate.
You know the crew at High Adventure in Florianopolis is going off right now for Isadora.
I have a feeling she's going to go back to that same trick. Nice, frontside air.
So Isadora with 20 seconds left. Her family, deep roots in skating and surfing.
Oh, wow. Pushing that U-dare.
It would be cool is to see a Brazilian father-daughter or father-son skate event. Seems like all the dads around here
Yeah. It's that frontside air.
So that'll be it for Isadora Pacheco, but again, a strong finish, making the finals here in her home country of Brazil. She did RTMF proud right there. So the final score comes through at 49.37. She'll sit on that 76.03. And able to crack the top 3, but a strong result. Here we go, Kihana Ogawa. 88.91 is the score to beat. Does not use the first wall rebate. Straight into it, 30 seconds left.
Oh, trying to get a 5-0 across that love seat. That's super risky. That seems to be Indy's signature, too.
The one thing I love about this Brazilian crowd is they're not just cheering for Brazilian skaters. They're cheering for everybody. They're cheering for the right tricks at the right time. A knowledgeable skate crowd down here.
Oh yeah, it's it's intense scrutiny if
Yeah.
you're skating. To impress a Brazilian crowd, you gotta dig deep.
All right, nervous moments here for Jordan Barrett. She drops in, 40 seconds on the clock.
She's on first wall. All right, that's okay. She's got another try of that.
Yeah, you can feel the frustration.
They did count that as first wall, correct?
First wall rebate. Jordan's a veteran competitor. She's been in a million finals. She's won the Combi Pool Classic, Bolarama. She's won her fair share of events.
Here we go. This is the run that she's been working on the whole time. Wait, what's going on? Oh, they didn't start her.
Yeah, she had to wait for us to reset the clock. Just silence over the crowd. That's got to add some nerves.
Awkward.
So Jordan's looking over towards our on-site commentators. Tim O'Connor is down there. And basically the formula is Tim O'Connor says, go, you go. Clock starts. The second your wheels, all four wheels hit the ground.
So I gave her a chance to catch her breath.
There you go. 40 seconds back on the clock. Jordan Barrett, fourth and final run. Switch her lineup, kind of going back to what she knows.
Yep. Eggplant.
Which is fine with us.
Yeah. I wanted to make this once. Here we go. Looks at air. This is that blunt 180. She's got it. She's got her feet in the right place. Ah, she did it.
20 seconds left. Keep going, Jordan.
Nice. Frontside ollie on that tight tranny. Boneless. This is her best run by far.
Big backside air. 9 seconds left.
Oh, grind revert. Now what? It looked like she was going to set up for some sort of 360 move, but then decided otherwise. Nice disaster. That's her best run.
Here we go. 40 seconds of skateboarding for Jordan Barrett. You can see the relief. That's got to be a long, 15 minutes of her life.
Torturous. Just torturous. Especially after bailing the first trick on the last two runs. Look at this. Nice nose bone, too.
I like those shoes.
That's the trick she's been debating this whole time. This eggplant is solid.
So Jordan Barrett representing Oahu. Don't forget, we got a love letters from Hawaii coming out just in time for the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing, which will be this winter, which is big wave season in the North Shore of Oahu. There's Jordan. Got to be feeling good about that run. Judges right now discussing it. It's cool. On the judging panel, we've got, vert skaters, street skaters, park skaters, guys that are very kind of in tune, and they come together like a Voltron of judging crews to give us an overview of what they're seeing. So here's Jordan waiting for the score to come through to 79.20, just right there on the edge of third place, but has to sit on a fourth place finish, which coming from dead last, fourth place, pretty rad.
Big relief.
All right, here we go. Second place, Sakura Yoshizumi. Sitting on an 86.33. Pretty much thought she had this thing sealed up. She's got to go for a big finish here. Pack in those technical tricks at the end of her run.
So far, same run we've seen, 360. There we go.
Kind of looks like she's chilling right here. Relaxed.
She does have very limited upper body motion doing these hard tricks too. There you go.
That's a new trick.
Cab on this. Oh, no. I don't think it's going to help her.
Oh, you can feel it.
Get her into first. So that I think she's going to stay in second there.
The electricity from the crowd starting to build. As Sakura Yoshizumi unable to complete her final trick, most likely that score is going to be under the 86.33. Maybe just a little too relaxed going into that run. I would like to see some fire from Sakura.
Yeah, I think if she had made that last trick, we might have gotten a little better score, but probably not enough to put her in first.
74.33. So as it stands, Sakura Yoshizumi in second place, 3 skaters left, including your current leader, Indiara Asp, who's got an 88.90. 10 years old, representing Japan, this is Kokona Hiraki. Her hometown is her home park is the Hot Bowl Skate Park. She did make the final in China, so she's on a solid run. 2019 Vans Park Series. Did I mention she was 10 years old? Did I say that?
Yeah, I think of that every time she's on that vert wall.
That's 1 year for every foot on that deep end.
She missed that nose grind. I've never seen her miss the nose grind on the last run. Whoa, what's going on here? Here we go. Whoa, coming straight in, backside nose grind. Usually she goes to disaster there sort of as a safety, so she knew she had to take a risk.
That's pretty wild to have that mindset.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
know exactly.
she had the strategy.
So that's it for Kokona Hiraki. Another solid finals result for this young skater out of Japan. She's already made a final this year on Vans Park Series. So watch out, Kokona Hiraki means business. She'll finish in 5th place, which is pretty strong out of 8 of some of the world's best park skaters. And here we go, your current leader, Indiara Asp. Crowd going wild. This could be a victory lap. That was scary.
That's what we were talking about, that round rail. If you're not perfectly balanced, your board just shoots away.
Indiara has the family support here.
There's a good chance it'll do that even after you've left the rail because you don't have it solid on your feet.
I love the look on her face here. You know she's about to get into here. Her mom's here on the deck. She's the first Vans women's pro. She started skating when she was 15, so kind of a late bloomer. She's 21 now. That's a lot of progression in 6 years.
That is an accelerated timeline. These are the woes of vert skaters. This is what happens when you have to knee slide all the time. You just wreck shoelaces left and right. And you learn how to be very creative with how to keep your shoe on with a very short lace.
Always travel with duct tape. Indiara Asp, 4th and final run, 40 seconds on the clock. She goes up into that backside grind, drop down, doesn't get it, but is sitting on a huge score of an 88.90. Now it's all up to Brighton Zoyner, who's been in this position before. She has 1 more run to go, but a huge score that she's looking for, an 88.90. Now we have a long 40 seconds for Indiara to wait. Does Brighton have it? Do you think she is capable of getting that 88.90?
I'm not sure what else Brighton has that she hasn't used already. So
just packing in a couple more tricks. Well, here we go.
Here's that 360
first wall rebate. She will use that first wall rebate. Again, love that rule. Just a little added bonus for skate fans and for the skaters in the contest. So she'll go back to the top of her run with 40 seconds to go here. Brighton Zoyner looking for an 88.90 to upset the hometown favorite.
Whoa, almost shooting out on that backside air. Landed a little high. But she's back in it. 360. Not going to do it. That's it.
All right, skate fans.
What does that mean?
Representing Florianópolis, Brazil. Your champion for the second stop of the Vans Park Series right there, Indiara Asp. How did she do it, Tony?
She did it with power, with grace, and with super hard tricks. You know, you look at those tricks like boneless ones, layback airs, backsmiths. It all comes from an 80s style of skating, but to throw it into this bowl is extremely difficult. And you can see just from her elbow, the slam she took on her final, like on her make, she still got hurt.
She is a force in skateboarding. Mom's there to congratulate her, the whole Florianópolis crew.
Well, we're gonna
mention High Adventure earlier. That's where Indiara and this crew skates a lot. You know they're going wild there right now. Indiara Asp, one event of the year. You know she wanted to win. She's done it.
She had the support from the crowd. She obviously is comfortable here. She skates here enough and is able to come here and practice. I mean, that's the beauty of having these parks that remain, is that they can practice and get better at these places every year. And so thankfully there will be this one, there'll be the one in Montreal, the one in Paris. And then by the year after, you'll see even better skating at those events.
All right, with our champion for the second stop of the 2019 Vans Park Series, Chris Pastras is with Indiara Asp.
Wow, Indiara, such a huge win here in your home country. Describe what this one means for you.
Oh my gosh, I'm speechless. It's just, here we have the best crowd ever. Thank you, everyone. Really, you guys are awesome, and I couldn't be happier. It's like one of the best days of my life for sure. Thank you.
And how much does this crowd play into your skateboarding and hyping you up?
They gave me the best energy ever, and I just feel like I want to skate the best I can. Yeah.
And how about your Brazilian family here? I know you got your mom here, you got all your friends, you got all the Florianopolis crew. How much does that affect your confidence?
It's the first time I brought my family here, my dad, my mom, and my brother, and almost all of my friends are here, and it's just thank you guys to be here and to be with me in this journey. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, let's have you say something to the crowd. They're chanting for you right now in Portuguese.
So bright.
E aí, galera, muito obrigada por todos vocês estarem aqui. Vocês são demais!
Congratulations, Indiara Asp, your 2019 Vans Park Series Women's winner here from Brazil. Congrats, Indy. Go celebrate.
Muito obrigado is right. Thank you, Indy, for that performance right there. Couldn't have scripted that any better. Really a fairy tale finish for the local skater out of Florianopolis, Brazil. She comes to Sao Paulo, which is, you know, it's relatively close, but to call her a hometown favorite is totally applicable here, as you could tell. The crowd was behind her from the get-go.
Oh, yeah, they're not regional here. You're from Brazil.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. And she had their support. She killed it. I mean, she did probably more than she expected to on that third run.
Yeah, it was undeniable, and I love the fact that you had mentioned it. Power skating was really the difference there. We saw what Sakura was doing. Love the technical approach, but I think when it comes to a park like this, it's so condensed that if you're going fast, you're doing big airs, you're extending your grinds as far as possible, which is what Indy did. That's when you're really going to get the judges' attention. Indiara really kind of channeling her inner Pedro Barros right there in that finals run.
That's it. That's what we come to expect from Brazilian skaters, especially in the finals.
Let's take a look back at what we just saw. That went lightning fast, and we can expect more of that when the men's hit the park in just a bit here. Starting with Sakura Yosizumi. I mean, she is an absolute ninja on a skateboard. You see just serious. The second she drops in, throws more tricks than anybody, more technical than anybody, and always a fun skater to watch.
Yeah, and tricks like that, when you're doing nose blunt to revert, you know you've got something special.
Brighton Zoiner, I mean, a powerhouse in her own right. She got third place, so a big finish for Brighton. And we're expecting a big year for Brighton Zoiner.
Absolutely, Brighton uses these parks to their fullest. She goes to every single thing and does a trick on it. And this starting right there with the 50-50, I mean, that was like icing on the cake, but then I never even saw her make that in practice, that jump up to 50-50 on the left seat, and then ending it with Smith grind. We didn't see her right there, but she ended it with a big slam after time, got up and smiled, and her elbow's swollen and bloody, and she won.
Yeah, she's a 100% skateboarder.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it takes, 15, 20 tricks to win this contest, but I really feel like she got things going from that first trick. Probably, I would say, the scariest trick that any of the women did with the grind to drop down, and that really set the tone. Indiara Asp gets the win. Sakura Yosizumi second. Brighton Zoiner third. Jordan crept from last to fourth with a solid effort there. Kokona Hiraki, Isadora Pacheco, Kihana Ogawa, and Dora Varela. Remember these 8 names. This is the current and future of women's park skateboarding.
Oh, yeah, and going into the rest of this year, we're going to see all those names probably just jumbled around in the top 5 or 10.
So as the crowd just packs into the arena here, this is, of course, is yet another permanent skate park built by Vans. So from here on out, Montreal, Paris, Salt Lake City, permanent skate parks that will live on for eternity for skaters to shred.
You can see what Indiara got to skate this since last year, how much she improved with it. So it's just going to increase the progression of all of the countries, all the skaters. And I'm really excited to see what happens year after year.
Now, you've skated enough parks to know. You remember a park that you skated 10 years ago and you go, oh yeah, I remember, maybe I could do this and that. Do you think Indiara kind of had that coming to this park today?
I believe so, yeah. Clearly her skill level has been increased since last year, and she's a little more daring, and so it was perfect for that.
Well, an amazing show from the women. Some of the best park skaters on the planet did battle here today. It went by that fast, and we can expect more of that when we drop the men's in momentarily. So as we look forward, Tony, final thoughts for the women's finalists?
Oh, it was perfect. It was like a fairy tale ending, especially since I picked Indy as a no, but I was really excited to see Jordan come from last up to fourth as well.
Right on. So that was your women's finals. Congratulations to Indiara Asp. And Thrasher Magazine will no doubt have an incredible highlights package for us to view later on today. So congrats to all of our women's finalists. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Jeff Grosso and Tony Hawk. Stay tuned.
Series in Sao Paulo, and the women's finals just wrapped up. I am here with legendary skater and master of opinion, Jeff Grosso. Jeff, did you watch the women's finals?
Yes.
What did you think about that?
Dwayne beat Eddie today.
I see.
Dwayne beat Eddie. It was fantastic. I love Indy. She rips, man. It's the format's really strange, man. It's like sometimes they go left and they're supposed to go right. Sometimes they go right when they're supposed to go left.
I'm really glad you brought that analogy, because I was worried everyone was going to make this Hosoi and Hawk analogy. Yeah. And you went deeper with it. So absolutely. She is more like Dwayne, for sure.
Yes, Indy's approach is very Dwayne-like. She gets a lot of punk points. You know, She had the crowd on her side. It's like a telenovela here in Brazil.
But speaking of the crowd, you just did the love letters on Brazil.
Yes.
And did you learn a lot about the history? I mean, you knew already from the 80s.
Yeah, we got to hang out with a lot of really cool people. It's a trip. Yeah. The biggest question, the passion behind it all. A lot of these guys, it's all they've got. It's like soccer or skateboarding,
right?
To get up and get out, and so that's why they take it so seriously.
It was interesting to see the pioneers and the fact that they had to build their own brands and shoes because they couldn't afford the imported stuff. That we were riding,
Mad Rats and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they just made it their own. It's awesome.
It's insane. Yeah.
And now how far we've come. I mean, now we're at this huge event. This park remains. There are international heroes, like international heroes from Brazil that the crowd is behind, and it seemed very niche back then in the 80s and 90s, and now it's here to stay.
Yes, totally. It's a whole other ball game. Brave new world we're in. Brave new world.
What are some of the favorite highlights you saw, especially in the women's, in terms of usage of the park?
I was really impressed. I love Coco. Little Coco is insane.
Yeah.
I think she's fantastic, and when she gets a little bit of muscle on her, she's going to be a contender. Sakura did really, really well today. You know, I thought she got a little stepped on, but it's okay because Punk wins. Punk always wins.
That's true. Her level of difficulty was way above, especially when you're talking about nose blunt reverts.
Technically, she was on point, and she really used the park a lot better than most. You know, there's a lot of downtime at this park, you know, coasting across the flat bottom to get to the next wall.
Right.
And she really linked it all together really well. So it was...
and did some vert stuff.
Yes.
Did a bonking backside ollie,
yes,
which is
totally.
rare,
Yep.
unless you're a veteran vert skater.
Yes, Tatum would be proud. Tatum would be proud. So, but yeah, man, I think they got it right. You know, Indy
with the judging.
Yeah,
yep.
Indy came out. She was on fire. You know, Vern turned up the tunes. The crowd got behind her. She made that back
fairy tale.
Smith, and it was off to the races.
All right. So real quick, who are your picks for men's coming up here?
Ooh, yeah. Let's see. I'll go with Pedro. We're in Brazil, dude. Pedro's gonna.
Yeah, that's a safe answer.
Pedro's gonna slaughter stuff. Yeah, the judging on the men's yesterday was, was not. I don't know, man.
But Pedro rises above all that.
Yeah, Pedro's probably the pick to click. Tristan Rennie's skating really, really well. You know, I wouldn't count him out. Patrick Ryan got smoked yesterday. That's a bummer. I think Chris Russell's probably going to be the dark horse in this one.
I agree.
I think
you know
Russell's
what?
got some tricks.
We're
going to
find out in just moments. Men's finals coming up here at Vans Park Series in Sao Paulo. Stay tuned. We'll be live. It's going to be hot.
So skating is just, I don't even know, I guess.
They have not dug a hole or poured some cement up against a pillar at Burnside, then that entire skate park building revolution probably would have looked a lot different or not gone on at all.
So we're tearing out a bunch of like in the middle of the park. We had a separate bowl we built, and we've done this before. Like we've built it and redid it, like heavy remodel, just spice it up. This ain't gonna last forever. They're gonna come, the bulldozers, one day, but it's like, get it while you can. You might not even be here tomorrow. Welcome to the Infinite City skyline of Sao Paulo, Brazil, home to a purpose-built Vans Legacy skate park and the second stop of the 2019 Vans Park Series. The Vans Park Series Pro Tour is the premier stop for park terrain skateboarding, the fastest growing discipline in skateboarding today. Combining all aspects of culture, street, and transition, the Park Series is home to the most exciting show in skateboarding. Following his very first Park Series victory in Shanghai, China, Roman Pabic is looking to defend his victory before skateboarding's most enthusiastic crowd. Brazil's skate scene runs deep, and hometown heroes like Pedro Barros, Luis Francisco, and a crew of underground wildcards will be using all the raucous home crowd noise to their advantage. Every skater in the field is looking to match the passionate energy the Brazilian skate fans bring to this park, providing the perfect arena for an incredible event. The second stop of the 2019 Vans Park Series starts right now.
Boys are throwing down out here.
Welcome, skate fans, to Sao Paulo, Brazil. This is the Vans Park Series, the second stop of the tour here in 2019. Chris Cote here with Tony Hawk. Earlier today, the women absolutely terrorized this park, and now it's the men's turn. We are in the finals. Some of the best park skaters on the planet competing throughout the weekend, and here we go. We've got our top 8, and I'll tell you, this field right here absolutely stacked from veterans to newcomers, something for every skate fan. But before we get into the finals, let's take a look at how we got here and where we will be going. We started off the 2019 Vans Park Series in Shanghai, China. An epic event went on down there. It was Roman Pabich coming through, the teenage sensation,
Bit of a
getting the
surprise.
big win in China.
Yeah, that was a shock to everyone. But then again, when you saw him practice, you realized, like, if he puts it together, that's what's going to happen. But then
He started winning from practice on into the finals.
yeah, exactly. And then we're here in Sao Paulo with this park that was built last year. It's been improved a little bit, but it's here to stay. And you can see that the skaters, especially the girls, have improved their skills a lot because they already had the park to practice in.
Yeah, this is a purpose-built park for Vans Park Series, and guess what? From here on out, we're going to build and leave parks for skate fans in Montreal on July 12th through the 13th for the first time ever. Vans Park Series going to Montreal, Canada, and from there we're going to go across the ocean to Paris. Of course, a rich skate history in Paris.
Yeah, and all of Europe, and I believe all of the European skaters will come to that event to see it because it's so unique. And then we're going to leave that park in Paris, and Paris needs a park like this desperately, so that's going to be a great addition just to Europe in general.
So from Paris, we're going to crown our world champions for men and women in Salt Lake City, September 6th through the 7th. And it might sound like a broken record here, but this is great news. Another brand new park being built and left permanently in Salt Lake City for the Salt Lake skaters to enjoy.
Yeah, I think SLC could use an upgrade with the parks, and these ones are built to last, and they're state-of-the-art, and the finals are going to be insane there.
Well, we've got 8 skaters ready to drop. Before we get there, let's take a little vibe from the crowd. We've got our embedded field reporter, Chris Pastris, on the deck. What's up, Pastris?
What's up, boys? Yeah, you can definitely feel the energy here. Back in Brazil for the 3rd year. The crowd is on fire. The skaters are feeding off of it. It's translating to high-level skateboarding. A few names we've got in the stacked final to look out for. The VPS dominators like Alex Sorgente, Tristan Rennie, and a healthy Chris Russell, who's been skating amazing. I'd also note there are 3 Brazilians in this final. Pedro Quintas, Luis Francisco, and the king of Brazil, Pedro Barros. So expect the crowd to just erupt when those guys skate. I'm super excited for this men's final. How about you guys?
We are fired up, and you can literally feel this place shaking when the crowd starts to go wild.
You can. It's a little frightening, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm liking it. You know, the skaters are feeding off it. Brazil in general, always known for passionate commitment to every sport they do. Skateboarding is right up there with what they love. And the skaters from Brazil have had to work hard to get to where we are today. Let's hear from some current skate legends from Brazil.
The park that Vans built in São Paulo, I live in that neighborhood. And I remember when I used to go to the same park, and like there was only like a flat ground that I could skate.
In Brazil now, skateboarding is getting bigger. The Park Series São Paulo helps a lot of young people to discover a new things in his life.
Vans Park Series Brazil, all the crowd was screaming and cheering, and all of a sudden they started doing the wave, and I was like, whoa, look, that's so cool. I never seen that before. I think the fans in Brazil are so passionate because they see the pro skaters from America and all over the world, but they just saw in video. So watch them skating live, like the best moment of their lives.
Brazilian skaters, Brazilian fans fired up, and I'll tell you, we saw it earlier with the women really feeding off the crowd. A local Brazilian Indiar Asp getting the win, and you could tell a big part of that was from the fans.
Oh, absolutely. She was the country favorite. She was the hometown favorite. They were all behind her, and once she made her first trick, which was probably the hardest trick in her run, it was game on. She was going to stay on no matter what.
Well, this whole weekend has been dedicated to skateboarding in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Earlier, we saw the men's qualifiers and semifinals go down right here, and fasten your seatbelts at home. This is how we got to the finalists. Here we go.
That's what we like to see.
Psychedelic sister, you got me so sinister. It's a planetary puzzle. There's no way you can stop her. If only she could find a way to stay high. Let me driver, let me driver. Let me be your let me driver. Let me driver, let me driver. I wanna be your let speed driver. She's my hallucination, my means for transportation. Glitter galaxy girl in a tone and a 12. If only she could find a way to stay high. Let me driver, let me driver. Let me be your let me driver. Let me driver, let me driver. I wanna be your let me driver. Let me driver, let me driver. Let me be your let me driver. Let me driver, let me driver. I wanna be your let speed driver.
We are all expecting, of course, the Pedro show. We got that and some, but the big surprise from the qualifying rounds, hey, Mana Reynolds, our top qualifier from the semifinals.
Yeah, you know, when you're throwing 360 flip tail grabs, that's tough to beat.
Yeah, so we see some faces that we're used to and a couple new faces, but right now, let's talk picks. Tony, who is your pick to watch for today's finals?
Oh, wow. You know, I'm going to go with someone who I know kills it at vert, and that's Alex Sargente. He could do some of the hardest vert tricks in these smaller transitions. Even though he's tall, he's comfortable with the smaller trannies and with doing mini ramp type of tricks. And his runs are somewhat spontaneous. You think he's going to do one trick, and then he mixes it up or goes a different direction. I really enjoy seeing, I mean, he can skate mega, he can skate vert, but he can definitely skate parks.
Yeah, always super unpredictable, which makes it really fun to watch. Sargente back in the finals after a miss in China, which was really surprising not to have Sargente in a finals here at Vans Park Series. Well, my pick, I'm going to go with the muscle. Super excited to have Chris Russell back in action. absolutely power blasted through the semis. He's looking lean, he's looking mean, he's ready to rip. And if he, the way he skates, you're just surprised that his trucks stay on his board doesn't break,
Yeah.
and he is
Or that he stays
on
on
the
the
edge
course.
of disaster. Love to watch Chris Russell. Stoked to have him back on Vans Park Series. And now, Chris Pastors, who's your pick?
I like those picks, guys, and I am going with the high-flying Hawaiian, Heimana Reynolds, for a few reasons. He's got the momentum of making the cut to finals at Dew Tour that happened just last weekend, so Heimana's been on a tear. He's also got the highest scoring run of our semifinals here at VPS stop number 2. And finally, Heimana really feeds off the high-energy crowd and positive vibes here in Brazil. Go, Heimana.
Right on, Pastor. So those are our picks right now. I noticed nobody picked Pedro. Maybe too obvious to pick Pedro Barros here. He's the perennial threat to win any skateboard contest in the world,
Well, let's
let
put it this
alone
way.
here in Brazil.
The country has picked Pedro.
Okay,
we
yeah,
don't need to.
They made their pick
Yeah,
for us.
yes.
Well, for more on Pedro Barros, let's take a look at the Pedro show in action.
My name's Pedro Barros. I'm from Florianópolis, Brazil. The Brazilian skate scene never really got that much support, so people just have to do it for themselves. They got all these influence from back in the days, like Bruno Brown, Marcelo Kozaki. The building of Vans Skate Park in São Paulo is pretty sick, to where the company just puts effort out of themselves to really support that scene, because in the end, that scene supports that company. People here in Brazil, they're used to fanning out on soccer games, If you make a goal, it's like everybody just goes nuts. So if you make a trick, they're going nuts. You're gonna see dudes ripping kind of in longboards and little boards, weird costumes sometimes, and they're doing it for themselves, so I think that's just really sick.
The Pedro show is about to begin, but before that, the Bob show. Bob Burnquist, a pioneer in international Brazilian skateboarding.
I feel like he's the icon of Brazilian skating. And he's such an innovator. I mean, one of the innovators of big ramp skating, of switch skating, like a pioneer of vert, and everyone knows his name. He's an international star, but definitely a superstar here in Brazil.
And it's insane, his rise. I mean, from the underground, you saw the early anti-hero videos, and you're going, what the hell is this? Who is this? And I need to know more about this guy. So Bob Burnquist on hand to help get us fired up. So as we go into the finals, let's take a look at the format. These 8 skaters will be skating through. They're all going to get 4 runs. That's 4 opportunities to drop a big score, 40 seconds max, or skate until you fall. And on the 4th and final run, Tony, we got that first wall rebate. What does that mean for these skateboarders?
It's like their own little best trick event, but they only get 1 try. And if they do make it, then hopefully they stay on the rest of the run, because that's going to be the best thing they could do.
So all these skaters know that with 4 opportunities, it's that best 1 run that's going to count. So you can do the same run throughout your entire 4 runs. You can mix things up, whatever works for you, but know the judges are looking for big skateboarding. Here's your finals. Chris Russell, Roman Pavic, Pedro Quintas. Excited to see this Sao Paulo native in action. Pedro Barros, Tristan Rennie, a finalist from last year. Sorgente, perennial finalist. Luis Francisco, a rising skate superstar. And Heimana Reynolds coming out of Honolulu, Hawaii. So again, new faces, veterans, a couple world champions in the mix there as well. This is a solid 8 skateboarders for our finals. And I tell you, expect the unexpected when you get 8 guys like this in this park.
Yeah, this is a contemporary lineup. I really think this represents sort of the best of all-around park skaters, different styles, ones to watch, and a couple newcomers. So I think it's a stacked field. It's going to be awesome.
Chris Russell from Hermosa Beach, California, a.k.a. The Muscle. Definitely one of the most powerful skateboarders on the planet, 22 years old. This guy puts his boards, trucks, everything to the test every time he drops in. And we're off in the finals here.
Oh, going for a frontside air 360 over the love seat, first thing. He rolled around the entire park to get there.
Oh, he's a caged lion. They open the cage door. He's on it. So right there, maybe thinking about that first wall rebate a little too early, but Chris Russell, we know he's 100% or nothing.
Yeah, no, that's what we expect right there. That was not a surprise, but we wish he would have made it.
he's just kind of wondering what just happened. Well, he's got 3 more opportunities to go. Tristan Rennie came to Brazil last year, got 3rd place in this contest. This kid, I mean, it's so fun to watch skate. He's from Rialto, California, 21 years old. His trucks are as loose as possible without the hanger flag.
Whoa, frontside feeble off the rail there. Look at that. That's like a big frontside ollie just to get from point A to point B and into a nose grind around the corner, which is one of the hardest ways to get around a corner.
It just looks like he's having fun, too. He's smiling when he skateboards. Isn't that how you're supposed to do it?
Very loose, too. Wow, backside 5.
Is that an easy trick?
The way he grabbed it, which is right near the front foot, is sort of the old school backside airway. That's the hardest way to keep your feet on.
Tristan Rennie, wow.
That was
40
it.
seconds of perfection
Look at
right
that.
there. That was crazy. I mean,
Where do
that
you go from there?
540 was so easy for him.
Yeah, almost like a nose grab.
I mean, that's 100% just pure raw skateboarding right there, making it look super easy. Coming in off that nose grind, sketchy, and here's that 540. A couple different grabs in the spin there.
Basically, at that point, if you're grabbing it there, you're just guiding the board. You're not really holding it on your feet.
All right, big score to start, 81.87. Where is that 81.87 going to stand in the grand scheme of things here, Tony?
That's hard. When you come out with a run like that in the very beginning, usually the scores tend to keep increasing, and so that's going to be a lot to live up to later on.
All right, starting off the big air over the left seat, Roman Pavic,
That's
our
the
winner
Sean
from
Penn
China.
right there. Backside Madonna, we call that a Sean Penn. Wow, big fast plan.
When we talk about that mix of old school and new school being a real kind of key that the judges look for, Roman has that on lock.
This is just an insane amount of tricks in this short time.
I don't think anybody skated more through practice and the semis than Roman either.
Did you see he prepared for the 540? By usually when those guys do 540s, their hat flies off. He actually prepared for it by flicking his hat off. Yeah. I'm not sure about that technique, but
everything was going right until the very end there.
Yeah, you're judged on fast plants by how fast you get your foot back on while it's going up, and he was still a good 3 feet above the lip when he got his back foot on. So
how fast the plant is?
The planting it back to the board. Yes. As we all know, Chris Miller was the master of the trick. But Roman has took the torch here for this event.
All right, so we've seen Chris Russell, Tristan Rennie, Roman Pavic, now to Alex Sorgente, reigning Vans Park Series champion from Lake Worth, Florida, 21 years old. Super tech, always hyper consistent.
3 tricks right in a row, and then into a nose grind. Big body jar. That's what I'm talking about. That's a small transition, but he's a vert skater, and he's tall, yet he can still do stuff like that.
The judges love loud skateboarding.
Oh, nose blunt revert. To a big Caballero. See, right there, he went from the deep end, and he was trying to alley-oop into the shallow end, which is a much more difficult landing.
You can tell he is winding up right there. If he can finish that run, we're talking 90s.
That almost
That's
was
an
an overcork. This was a surprise. Nose blunt, and then he came in 180, kind of a pivot revert. We haven't seen anyone do that.
Score comes through a 66.70. Needs to clean up the finish there. Sorgente left about 8 to 10 seconds on the clock. And this guy has shocked the world. Qualified 4th place. He's on the list of a lot of people's new favorite skater.
Wow. Right there, he's doing the lip slide to Smith grind, missed the Smith grind, and did not care.
He's trying to take over the Pedro show for himself. Love
Doing a
the way
good
this
job
dude
so
skates.
far. Oh, wow. That's the issue here. Even though that wall looks like a vert ramp, that's a relatively small vert wall. And when you do a kickflip indie that high, the landing zone is very shortened. And you can see right there, missing the grind, doesn't care, came in anyway.
That was psycho.
But with this kickflip indie, he was at a height that's more of a vert height And that transition is very small, especially for someone as tall as him. And he shot out.
Sickest style. I mean, right when he drops and you go, okay, I like this guy skateboarding. Pedro Quintas, that was his first run. He'll have 3 more opportunities. This guy made a huge mark on the skate world last year at this very contest. Luis Francisco from Sao Paulo, Brazil, just 18 years old, already super accomplished on Vans Park Series.
Clearly a local.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
One of the best bonelesses in the game.
Yeah. Well, just slapping the tail down for a little flair. Oh, these small trannies, when you're going that fast and you're going that high, it's very hard to suck up the transition because the radius feels that much smaller.
I love that he adds elements to each and every trick. You'll see
right
him
there, throwing his tail out a little bit.
And we saw him yesterday on that boneless, just added an extra little nose poke at the end of it. Definitely inspired by Grant Taylor. You know, if you're going to do a boneless, do it like that.
That's about as big as you're going to go. And you can see he got the way he shot out, probably caught his hip right as he landed, and that's all the force right in your hip, and then this ground will grab you. It doesn't allow you to slide.
Our friend O would call that a one-cheek sneak.
It's a butt splitter for sure.
Pedro Barros, you heard the crowd go absolutely nuts. Here we go. This is the Pedro Show.
Pedro just has no problem in any transition. Huge stalefish transfer. Wow, almost an alley-oop 540 on that wall.
I kind of think Pedro wants to win this contest. What do you think?
I think he's not going to hold back, that's for sure.
Every trick is done as
big
high
tail
as
grab. Now you see, he had to like suck up that small transition. But he's used to getting compact like that. Back lip. I mean, this has been almost twice as many tricks that we've seen from anyone. Switch lip slide. This is just for the crowd, by the way.
Yeah, just keep
Time
going.
is way up.
He knows. Pedro knows. Pedro and his dad basically helping build the Florianopolis skate scene. Nobody gets the crowd more hyped than Pedro Barros. And this is just pure power skating. Love it. Directional
front set
changes,
alley-oop
I mean,
is so.
everything's
Now
there.
this one, he almost had to do an alley-oop or a straight up and down 540 on that wall and landed low, and that doesn't affect him at all. Anyone else would be spending the rest of the time recovering from that.
He, as it stands now, you would call Pedro the king of Brazilian skateboarding. On top of the world, you know, heading into the Olympics and all that. Pedro has, there you go, and he's your current leader. 84.53 for Pedro Barros.
Not a surprise.
That tells us, too, he has room to grow. I mean, we have up to 100, and if anybody's going to get even close to that, it'd be Pedro Barros. Here's your top qualifier from our semifinals, Heimana Reynolds.
Wow, big. That's the biggest transfer we've seen right there. Frontside invert. Almost turning it all the way around to an eggplant.
It's him on his first year as a challenger. He's taking full advantage of his invite.
Oh, huge Madonna. These guys are just toying with that rail. Oh, kick for Bindi over the volcano. Big nose grab 5. It's amazing that you can take off from these smaller bigger transitions into the smaller ones on a trick like that and keep your speed up.
Well, Vans Park Series really kind of pioneered this type of terrain and this type of contest where you have to have corners, you have to have hips, you have to have certain elements to make it a Vans Park Series event. And you have to, if you want to win this contest, use everything. Heimana basically touched every wall in a big way in that run.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge Madonna on that quarter pipe.
The crowd waits. The score comes through. It's a 79, enough for third place for Heimana for now. So there you go. You had your first runs from all the skaters. What are you feeling is pulsing through the energy of these 8 skaters right now, Tony?
Well, Pedro set the bar for sure, and everyone just has to go with that. Like, okay, we got to try to get
Pedro.
close to that or some semblance of that. But I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised at Heimana's score because I feel like that was the same run that he qualified with yesterday. First place. So
here's your judging criteria. So Heimana, Pedro, and Tristan, top 3 right now. And basically, for me, emphasis on distance travel. That tells me the judges want to see you go big, grind far.
Grind far, yeah.
Just do your tricks in a big way, like
Right.
you would do them if you were skating in a heated session. You know, get your friends and fans psyched. The judges are all skaters and skate fans, just like all of us. So if you impress them, they're going to throw out those big scores. They just want to be fired up. And if anybody can do it, it's this guy right here, Chris Russell. And I love to listen to Chris Russell
still
skate.
going for that frontside air revert over the love seat.
It's unfortunate. I want to see him make that. He's angry. And if anybody can use anger to their advantage, it's Chris Russell. So 2 no-goes there. I was just about to say, I love to listen to Chris Russell skate. Nobody skates louder than Chris Russell.
Yeah, he punishes the wall.
All right, Tristan Rennie right now kind of quietly snuck into second place with a flawless run.
Just that right there, trying to do airs across that love seat is a long air for a small ramp.
Look at the flow, too. He's just floating around this park. Come in.
Oh, wow. Desperate grab attempt. It's amazing how long he's on a nose grind that he can choose to grab halfway through.
He's got enough time to think about how to come out.
Maybe I should go this way with it instead.
You know what I love about this crowd? I said it earlier, too. They're not just blindly cheering for Brazilian skateboarders. They're cheering for good tricks. They're cheering at the right times. They know what's up with good skateboarding, and you can tell the whole field is drawing off that. Here goes Roman Pabic, currently sitting in 4th place, needs to shoot for an 84.54. Remember, Roman took the win in China. Part of the teenage contingent that got top 3 down there. See if it can continue that roll here in Brazil.
This is the same run we saw last time. Wow, nose grind both ways on that rail. So we need something big here at the end. Make that 540. Oh, missed it again. He's having a hard time on the approach because he has to go down that waterfall over to the left there, and it really kind of, it messes with your timing and with your pump. And I mean, we saw him in Shanghai doing 540s left and right, around the corner, near the corner, but navigating on this course, especially as a goofy footer, it's more challenging.
See right there, I mean, it's just the way he adds elements to every trick, an element of danger to come high to low, especially what he did a few times during that run. Here goes Alex Sorgente, currently in 5th place. If anybody is known for taking Pedro down, it's Sorgente. These guys have had a pretty cool rivalry over the past couple years.
All this, it just looks like, it looks like it's embedded in his brain, this line.
It's just muscle memory. He knows exactly what he wants to do, where he wants to go, adding different tricks.
Oh, cab nose pick, just barely staying on.
That was wild.
Frontside blunt. So he's got the technical factors here, but I think that, wow, sugarcane over the hip. I don't think he has as many tricks as Pedro, but that's a solid run. I mean, that should be a top 3 run.
That's always been the conversation between these two guys. You've got the tech abilities of Alex Sorgente. Of course, he can do big airs and all that, but he oftentimes goes to the tech, going switch, fakey tricks, against Pedro's just raw savagery.
But you can see some of the tricks are so high, the technical, like this one, cab nose pick, there's no speed to be had out of this.
That is, I mean,
and so you spend a lot of the time trying to recover your speed for tricks like this, the sugarcane over the hip, which are all awesome, but Pedro does not slow down.
Well, that score right there tells us that the judges want to see you go big. They want to see you do long grinds. They want to see more speed. That's how and why Pedro Barros has the lead now. Here we go again for Pedro Quintas. Does not want to be known as the other Pedro. He wants to be his own Pedro, and he's well on the way to that. Okay, gained a lot of fans over the past few days.
Oh, Mates Kifabeni. Last time he had a hard time landing that.
Still
Nose
with
grab,
20 seconds
540.
left.
Look at that, just using every tiny bit of transition for his speed.
I could watch this dude skate all day. His style is so sick.
Nice, lip slider on the corner. Oh, frontside feeble, really standing on top of it. That's it.
Oh, he is psyched. Top 3 run?
I don't know. I think it's very close.
What do you think the crowd thinks?
Crowd wants him in at least second.
Again, just the aggression that he skates with right there, locking in that lip slide Smith grind. It's undeniable how fast he's going. I mean, he's rivaling Pedro Barros for speed right now. And the judges are going to, I think, react nicely to that.
That's good sugar.
That
And he
was scary.
stopped the slide, but then forces his board at an angle so he doesn't hit that coping on the way down. There you go, third place.
Yeah, the score comes through, 80.53. The fans get their way. He didn't give the judges a choice right there. They had to put him in the top 3. When you're going that fast, you do that many tricks, that many hard tricks, it's undeniable. We're back to Luis Francisco. Luis just with a 50 on his first run. He's angry now. And that's what we like to see.
Wow. I don't know how you go any higher on a boneless there.
This kid is a machine. Okay.
Whoa, 360 Indy. That was risky at the end there because that still counted.
That was the run Luis Francisco wanted. This guy's a showman too. You know he's gonna give love back to the crowd for what they're giving to him. Things are escalating here, Tony.
Yeah, like I said, the scores, they continue to rise through the finals. This is such a great capability. I mean, that transition is extremely steep to be going over that volcano, and to navigate it while your feet are off on the capability is scary.
Judges taking their time here with this score. Was Luis Francisco's run as good, if not better, than Pedro Quintas? And he comes through, boom, an 82.20. Luis Francisco now in second place. That knocks Tristan Rennie to third and Pedro Quintas to fourth. Still got Pedro Barros and Jimena Reynolds for their second run. Here we go, it's like loading a cannon. And boom, let's go, Pedro Barros.
I feel like it's times like these when Pedro actually has to slow down.
Yeah, he has kind of the...
There's a too much speed element for this park, and Pedro knows what it is.
Well, we've seen him overpower parks before.
Look at that,
Wow. That landing
is
was
such a tricky angle too. Just sitting on the backside Smith. Big tail grab.
Still has 13 seconds left.
So this is the same run that put him in first. Oh, Indy 5, there you go. Now it's, all right.
Hi Pedro, how you doing?
If he wasn't way ahead before, he's way ahead now.
I'm just gonna let the crowd tell you what they think.
That Indy 540 with relatively no speed compared to his other one, and then coming down in the squat, I mean, there's so many things that go wrong there that I don't think anyone else would be capable of making that.
He did that right in front of him on it too.
This right here, the straight up and down 5, you can see that line marks the start of the corner, and this Indy, plus it's tuck knee, which makes it harder, just squatting, surfing it out.
That was a wild run.
I think he might have got wheel
expected.
bite. He got wheel bite on both sides of his board on the way down the wall.
If you can impress Jeff Grosso and make him laugh like that, you've done something right. Hermana knows what he's up against now. Pedro Barros, the score comes through in 88.63. Big lead for Pedro. Hermana, he's just got to go bigger, faster, longer on every trick. Currently in 5th place.
Big Madonna.
And why was that trick called a Madonna?
Because when I created it, I was complaining to my friend that nobody wants to learn the tricks I create, and he said, you got to name it something trendy. And at the time, Madonna was the trendiest thing we could think of. Oh, 360 flip, tail grab.
Could have been called Lucky Star, so I think we got off easy with the Madonna trick.
Yeah, well, she had a bunch of hits by then.
So Hermana Reynolds unable to finish. Still got that strong start. I would say Hermana is going as big, if not bigger than Pedro, but it's about, you know, packing in those tricks.
Yeah, you can't, I mean, if you're going up against Pedro, you can't even afford a carve to take away from your trick selection.
How does Pedro get and maintain so much speed?
He finds it in the, just even there. Like you saw how Hermana kind of dodged that little hump. Pedro's going to use that to the full advantage. Use the hump over, the side. Every single part of the transition is going to get him more speed. And I don't think anyone else is capable of doing it the way he does it.
Score comes through to 70.67 as we go into the 3rd runs for our finalists. Let's go down to the deck. Chris Pastris is with Christian Hosoi.
Thank you, fellas. And I am here with one of the founding fathers of park terrain, Christian Hosoi. So, Christian, take us through the intense energy skateboarding we're seeing right now.
I mean, the skateboarding that's going down is like second to none in park skating, but the energy that Brazil brings is over the top. The energy of the crowd, but also Pedro Barros just threw down one of the most just intense runs, and I believe he's not even thrown in some of his final run tricks that I think is going to add the technical ability, but his skateboarding is just so elite. He's one of my favorite skateboarders in the world, and for us to be here in Brazil, like Sao Paulo, watching it go down live to me is like a dream come true, because you know I remember doing this like 40 years ago, thinking, man, the world's gonna want to see this, and here we are, the world is watching. And to see these guys, the top 8 guys, I mean, Chris Russell that just skated put down one of the most burliest runs yesterday that we've pretty much ever seen, and just powered through it. So the level of skateboarding is so unique. It's different. There's technical skateboarding, there's power skating, there's style, there's, you know, sketchiness with control, and to me that's what skateboarding's about. It's about your personal style and how you do it.
And let's talk about the strategy you have to apply with 4 runs. Do you put a safety run down, or how do you approach having 4 runs? You've got a lot of competition experience to speak from.
Man, I wish I had 4 runs back in the day. We only had 2, and for them to have these 4 runs is so amazing, because I'm watching them go through their runs. And Tristan Rennie, his style of skateboarding is just so spontaneous, and it's like no other. He's going places where, you know, nobody goes, and this is where the finals brings out the best in skateboarders. Like that right there. Holding on, fingertips, tippy toes, and that was an amazing run.
Totally amazing. And, you know, for these guys, how much of it do you think is planned and how much is improv in terms of their lines?
I mean, a lot of it is planned. You could see and you could tell that they have a line. But when you see some of the skaters ad-lib and change up their lines and add different tricks, you know they understand competition a little bit better and a little bit more. I know it's tough when you have a power line and you're trying to go for the top 3 spots. It gets difficult to step out of your comfort zone, but I think that's where the overall impression comes in, and where these judges need to really kind of add that in and to calculate. You know, people who take that chance to do something different, and I think that's what makes an all-around, you know, skateboarder that adapts well. And here's one of those skaters that does that well. Roman, his style of skateboarding is so, like, smooth but yet technical. And look at it, he's nolling off of that bar and he makes it look so easy, but it's not.
Yeah, and Roman won our Vans Park Series stop in China. So let's talk about the progression we've seen from a guy like Roman.
I mean, the progression is high skating. I mean, I wish there would be more street obstacles, more vert obstacles to add a little bit of flavor. But for what this is, they're making the best of it. And to me, watching them do fives in the deep end says a lot when you have no pads, no helmet.
Oh, man, it looks, we talked.
Did one, right?
Yeah, and we talked about the difficulty of planning a line and how you have to flow through the park. It seems like he's having some trouble getting over that hump into that 540, huh?
I think, you know what, that's where you see a skater looking at the bowl, creating the speed, and getting to where he needs to be. And as a judge or as somebody like myself who has been doing it for 40 years, you can see when they adapt, when they get it right, and it is beautiful. It's amazing.
Amen to that. He's got one more run to put it all together. Thank you so much, Hosoi. We're going to send it back up to Chris and Tony. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Pastris. Christian, so a heavy slam there for Roman Pabic. We're back to Alex Sorgente.
Oh! Going for a nose blunt slide up the rail.
So Sorgente now in 6th place, which again, last year, it was almost a lock that Alex would be in the top 3. What is different about 2019 than 2018 here in Vans Park Series for Alex?
It's the crew. It's the competitors. His run is solid. His run is contemporary. It's got modern tricks. It's got the hardest lines. But then you look at someone like Himana that takes it to a new level with harder tricks.
Pedro Quintas, definitely one of my new favorite park skaters. I love how this dude skates. It's pure power. It's raw. And look at the approach there. I mean, that is aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, he wants the most speed no matter what.
Look at every trick is hammered down.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's always the risk of getting that much speed in a park like this. A little off angle and you just slide out. Such a good, this and grabbing it and then coming in tuck knee makes it even harder, especially on that tight transition.
So Pedro Quintas right there, 48.93. He's got an 85.3. Currently in 4th place, getting looked after by the medical crew. They're fast too. I mean, you fall, they're right there. That's got to give the skaters a little bit of peace of mind. Here we go, Luis Francisco. 40 seconds on the clock.
Oh, wow.
That was an awesome way to drop in.
It's a good one. Feeble in. Oh, kickflip, almost over flipping it. Safety roll.
Ninja roll straight out of that trick. Well, you can feel the tension start to build a little bit as these skaters are all in their 3rd runs here. A lot of times when you see these guys do a really hard trick to start their run, sometimes they almost get a little bit surprised that they made the trick. Then they got to start to kind of refocus on the rest of their run.
Yeah, as much as I like it, I don't think it's the best way to get speed out of the gate.
Well, speed will not be a problem for this next skater. This is Pedro Barros, your current leader, sitting on an 88.63.
Oh, no. No first wall rebate here.
You started to feel the crowd kind of rise and then silence really quick. All right, so just going to be a small score for Pedro's 3rd run, a 6.27. It's a throwaway run. That's why we give these guys 4 runs. Remember, top 1 run will be the factor that dictates our top 3. Here goes Himana Reynolds. It's safe to call him the Flying Hawaiian, right? He's kind of inherited that.
Oh, man, I don't know. That to me, that's Clifford Adaptante, freestyle motocross.
Okay, we'll talk to Clifford.
He was a huck jammer. I don't know.
It was Clifford, then Kaipo Guerrero.
I'm just going to go with Clifford, sorry.
All right. I'll defer to you on that one. Himana Reynolds. He's not mad at his hat. He's just mad in general. Shouting into his hat. Trying to refocus.
This is one of the best frontside inverts in the game right there.
And that's a trick that was invented before Himano was born.
Way before he was born.
And that look on Himano's face tells the story. He is hungry for it. So Chris Russell here.
So
Just
Chris
right there.
missed that frontside air again. He's 3 for 3.
It only takes one run.
It only takes one, and the advantage he has on this last run is that he can miss the first wall and drop back in. But knowing Chris, if he misses that first wall, he's going back in to try the same thing again.
Here we go. Currently sitting in 8th place. 3 throwaways. Chris Russell about to throw down here in Sao Paulo. Remember, he has a first wall rebate. 2 tries at this first trick. Here we go. The muscle.
All
right, first wall rebate.
First wall rebate. Are we doing that again?
Of course. It's Chris Russell.
It's starting to look like Tin Cup out here. Yep, we're doing it again.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is the 5th try on the frontside air revert across the love seat.
Raging Bull.
I
Get
hope
it,
he
Russell.
makes it. Yes.
Yeah. You knew it.
Oh,
did
no,
you not?
and then he missed the
No.
second trick. No. Went for a good buddy. I mean, there's not a lot of options there on that super tight transition. So he went for the good buddy, like basically a fakey frontside invert. And it was just too much speed, but hey.
Hey, one of the tricks of the day right
he
here.
He made the trick. There it is.
That was crazy.
And this. Feet came off. Not a lot of room there.
Always a fan favorite. 23.60, one trick. That's a pretty solid score. So he will not be going home without a small sense of accomplishment. Chris Russell, a finalist here at the second stop of the Vans Park Series. Here we go, Tristan Rennie got 3rd place here last year.
Oh, nice. Backside nose grind across the love seat.
This guy's a 2nd generation transition skater. His dad used to rip Upland. He grew up skating with guys like Salba, backyard pools, so Tristan Rennie has a lot of experience in deep concrete.
Wow, a lot of backside 360s and alley-oops here. But keeping his speed up and doing hard variations.
Whipped into
backside
that 540.
and this is gonna be it. Kickflip Indy. Oh wow, back lip up there. That might be his best run.
Jeez. So he got 3rd place here last year. Right now he's sitting in 3rd again.
It's always hard to avoid those last few tricks after time.
I know. You want to just pack them back in there. And look at that. With an 84.63, Tristan Rennie ups it. Now he's in 2nd place behind Pedro Barros. That drops Luis Francisco to 3rd. Pedro Quintas in 4th. I mean, everything. That and the kitchen sink, everything thrown into that run.
That was it. That was all the vert tricks, all the mini ram tricks, the transfers. And changing it up. The judges really like it when you change it up. Even if it's maybe not more difficult, they love, but just in this case it was.
Refreshing, yeah. All right, Roman Pavic trying to come back from a pretty heavy slam in his 3rd run. First wall rebate. No need. Makes that first trick. So these parks not built with goofy foots or regular foots in mind?
No, but definitely there are certain advantages.
Right.
The problem here that Roman's been having is that he wants to do backside 540 at the end of his run, and he's chosen to do it right where the shallow meets the deep end right here. So he has to go down that hump, and he just can't quite get the body adjustment he needs to land into that corner. It's one of the most difficult areas for sure. But I was surprised because we've seen him do that trick in much more difficult circumstances.
Roman Pabic offers his board up for sacrifice. Board's taking a beating.
That'd be ironic if your worst slam was trying to break your board with your butt. How'd you get hurt? I don't want to talk about it.
Well, that was, I guess for him, a fun way to get that frustration out. Here we go. Fourth and final opportunity for Alex Sorgente.
Oh, man. There's that first wall rebate. Now that is putting it to good use. Trying to nose blunt slide up that wedge bank.
Well, we always expect super technical runs from Sorgente. Here we go, straight into it. Just lighting it up from the jump.
Wow, that's the easy version of what he was trying, supposedly, with the nose grind. Oh man, look at that, those feet adjustment in very limited flat bottom. Wow, big air to fakie on the mini ramp.
Shooting for an 88.63.
Caballerial alley-oop. Up, tried to do the sugarcane, doesn't matter. Oh, what happened there? Was that going to be a barrel flip out?
I don't think he knew halfway through. That was one of those quick reactional tricks.
It was a blunt of something in.
Yeah, this was kind of wild. He didn't really give it any time after that first wall rebate. Dropped straight back in. As always, put together a crazy run. We'll see if that's enough. Looking for an 88.63. Comes through 70.43. Sorgente will have to hold on to a sixth place finish. 4 skaters left, 2 of them named Pedro, 2 of them fan favorites. And here we go. I used to say 3 of them. We've got Luis Francisco as well. So 3 Brazilians and a Hawaiian yet to drop for their 4th and final runs. This is newcomer to Vans Park Series, instant favorite, Pedro Quintas. 40 seconds on the clock.
Chance to get into medal contention. Oh, wow. Hurricane up the bank there. We haven't seen anybody do that. Now he just wants to stay on for the rest of that same run because he knows that bumped up the difficulty factor just a little bit.
A lot of risk with every trick he does. He's going so fast.
Perfect landing. Is that 5 again? He missed that last time. He thought he hurt his wrist, but looks okay now.
5 seconds left.
Wow, this could put him up there. The only difference I saw was that he wasn't able to do the lip slide Smith grind over the love seat, but I believe that that's gonna possibly put him in 3rd place.
You added the possible.
Yeah,
How
fairly
confident do you feel?
confident.
Okay, fairly.
I'm gonna go with a 6 on the confidence scale, maybe 7.
Well, he's in 4th place right now. The judges deliberating, talking it over. All right, putting it all together in their minds. Remember, they're looking for speed, they're looking for power, they're looking for use of the park. You know, the mistakes are magnified this deep into the finals. As the score comes through, straight into the crowd, a 79.50. It's not enough to get him in the top 3, but definitely enough to earn even more respect from his home crowd here in Sao Paulo. Remember that name, Pedro Quintas. I'm gonna go ahead and add his name to my list of favorite skateboarders. Dude rules. All right, Luis Francisco, little powerhouse right now at 3rd place.
Oh, we're doing a kickflip into that thing. Wow, there you go.
No problem.
Kickflip front board to back lip. There we go, 540, looking good.
Oh wow, watch out Pedro's.
So precise, aiming for that tail.
Starting to feel this run here. The crowd is silenced as Luis Francisco blitzing through the park. 10 seconds left. The big boneless. 5 seconds left. One more trick.
Heel flip Indy. Oh, wow. There you go. That was his best run by far.
Oh, the ultimate
Starting
showman.
with a kickflip board, ending with a heel flip Indy. With everything else he did in between.
You got the crew sparked right there.
That could put him in second place.
Wow, Luis Francisco. Look at that start.
With the E-brake, that's what when you put your hand down on back lip, we call that the E-brake. Didn't stop him.
A lot of flipping of his board. Added the back 5.
In this last one, the heel flip, landing way below halfway down. Not a problem.
There's another notable Pedro right there. Pedro Carvalho. That kid shreds. Put all the Pedros on your list right now. All right, here we go. The score drops in 86-50. Luis Francisco now in second place, knocking Tristan Rennie to third. Only 2 skaters left. Both of these skaters have the potential here. Pedro Barros, he's in the lead. Right now, if this thing ended, he is your winner. Watch out, Romano Reynolds has a 4th and final run. Here we go, Pedro Barros. What's he got for the first wall rebate? No need.
Look at that. See that squat? That would have lost anyone else all their speed. And Pedro uses it to his advantage.
Kind of hobbling out of that last trick right there. Hear the crowd going wild, trying to get into the head of Romano Reynolds. Representing Hawaii, Romano Reynolds has one last shot, getting himself not only on the podium, but potentially getting himself the win here. He did win semifinals, qualifying first place, so he does know what it takes. But it's going to take a lot to take out Pedro Barros, who built momentum from the beginning with an 84, added that 88.63.
I don't think Pedro had a run yesterday like he did today, though. So Romano has got to step it up.
Here we go, 40 seconds on the clock.
Huge frontside air at the beginning there.
Start. Stalling that frontside invert.
Just that alone, like a frontside 50-50, is kind of risky to throw in the middle of your run when you've got to be jam-packed with tricks. But so far, so good. Kick flip over the volcano, judo air.
10 seconds left.
Good landing on that 5.
He's got to have a big finish here. 5 seconds.
Here we go. He wants that 360 flip. Tail grab. Oh, missing it.
Tried to throw it down. And
Hail Mary on that one.
Final run of Romano Reynolds. That means it's a Brazilian sweep in Sao Paulo with Pedro Barros, the king of Brazilian skateboarding, getting the win with an 88.63. I can honestly say, no surprise here, Tony.
No, not at all. I think the surprise is how close Luis got to that score as well.
Luis Francisco with an 86.50 made Pedro sweat a little bit there in his 4th and final run. And give it up to Tristan Rennie, back-to-back 3rd place finishes here in Brazil. We got a newcomer, Pedro Quintas, in 4th place. Romano jumps to 5th, Sorgente 6th, Roman Pabic 7th, Chris Russell 8th. Let's go down. The Pedro Show continues with Chris Pastras.
Yes, Pedro, wow. I know we missed you in China. Describe what this win means for you here in your home country of Brazil.
Can I say it in Portuguese since we're in Brazil?
Say it as long as you translate it, sure.
Então é isso aí, obrigado galera. Estou muito feliz de conseguir levar essa etapa. Obrigado pela torcida de todos vocês aqui em São Paulo. Vocês são foda, cara. Isso aqui que o skate é de verdade. E esse é um sentimento muito puro e muito único. E é um prazer poder dividir esse sentimento com vocês aqui. Obrigado pela energia.
And describe in English after the crowd cheers for you. They love you, man. We all love you. So describe for our American viewers what that, U.S. viewers, what that means.
this is just, I was just thanking the Brazilian crowd. We're being able to share a lot of the real and true energy of skateboarding here, you know, with all our friends, with the vibe that these people bring together. And I feel like this is skateboarding, you know, everybody having fun, having a good time, sharing this feeling together. And it's real, you know, it's always going to be real, so we got to keep it going.
I love it. I love it. And I know you've got your wife here, your dad here. How much does it mean to have your family behind you at these events?
Oh, it's amazing. I got my wife, my dad, I got Joy, my little dog. And it's just been a really, really good time. All the friends, family, this crowd, this park, Brazil, you know, the vibes, yeah.
Amazing, Pedro. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate, brother. Big love. Your 2019 Vans Park Series winner from here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Yeah, Pedro.
An epic finish for the men's finals. Two Brazilian heavyweights taking the wins here. Indiara Asp taking the win for the women. Pedro Barros taking the win for the men. We're talking Florianopolis domination here, Tony.
What can you say? The crowd was so behind them. The country's behind them. That was kind of a perfect result, I think, for skateboarding in Brazil, for the pride that they feel. And then there was plenty of other awesome skating right underneath there. So it wasn't like they were so far ahead that it was a clean sweep.
Yeah.
They both had to work for it.
They left it out to the end for sure. Congrats to Luis Francisco. Stellar run to get himself second place. Tristan Rennie coming through in third place yet again here in Brazil. That tells me he loves this park. Well, guess what? This park is staying. These Vans Legacy Parks starting right here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. This park will be here for eternity. And when we head to Montreal, when we head to Paris and Salt Lake City, more permanent concrete skate parks to come from Vans Park Series. So Tony, we saw that winning run. His first run was an 84, so we knew that Pedro was going to be on a good one. Second run was where it counted, an 88 plus for Pedro Barros. I mean, that is just classic Pedro Barros skateboarding.
Yeah, well, usually he stays until the very, very end. So to have him have such a high score in the second run, it was kind of like, where did we go from here? And he tried to up it, but it was a big task. And it was really cool to see Luis come really close to him, too. It wasn't like he was so far ahead that it was embarrassing. Luis got right in there, like to show him, like, hey, I'm on your trail. This is what's happening.
Well, this is 40 seconds of the Pedro show, his winning run. It's always a wind-up with Pedro Barros. You know, you see him dropping in, and you can just tell the intensity level rises with each and every run Pedro takes. Of course, he had a couple incredible variations on the 540. And just overall, you know, nobody goes faster, nobody flies higher, nobody skates with more power than Pedro Barros.
No, and I said it before, he gets too much speed for these courses sometimes. You actually see him do a speed check where he's got to slow down or he's going to fly out of the whole thing. Right there, like that frontside air landing in a squat and using it to his advantage. Everyone else is trying to recover. When this 540, straight up and down, still leaning back.
That's where things could have gone really wrong.
Oh, absolutely. For anyone else, they would have.
Yeah, you know, we talk about his power, his speed, and all that, but one thing that Pedro has is the ability to recover from weird landings.
And use it to his advantage. Like this, look at this. He squatted that where his wheels were hitting the bottom of his board on both sides, yet it didn't slow him down. Went into a backside light 360 just as the cherry on top.
I love when he puts his hands like that too. He's like, what more do you want? What more do you want?
What more do you? We don't want anything else. That was it. Thank you.
And that's why we call it the Pedro Show. Every time he skates a contest, it's all or nothing right there. He gave us his all, an 88 plus to take the win here at stop number 2 on the 2019 Vans Park Series. So Pedro showing us he can do it in the deep concrete. Again, that is why we build these parks and we leave them, because we want to see skateboarding progress every place we go.
We want to see all the locals doing Pedro's line next year.
And we probably will see that, or something like that.
Something like that, yes. Their own version of that.
From here on out, we're going to go into a best trick contest. We got an incredible roundtable with some absolute skate legends coming up. You can continue watching that at VansParkSeries.com and or ThrasherMagazine.com. So this show is not over yet. We got a lot more skateboarding to come. So thank you guys all for watching from all over the world to Vans Park Series. Stop number 2. Men's and women's finals went down today. And the skating was just next level. Let's take a look at some of the highlights that we witnessed at this incredible purpose-built park here in one of Brazil's skate epicenters, Sao Paulo. So we started with Sakura Yosizumi. She has made a huge name for herself on the international skate scene. High tech, big airs. She is the complete package.
She definitely has the difficulty factor above all else there, especially for tricks like that, backside nose blunt, backside revert. And then Ryden is always solid. She does probably a few more tricks than anyone else in these runs because she gets every wall like this and turns over there, transfers. I mean, just the direction she goes is risky as itself. But Indy came through with starting off with the hardest trick of the day, with that 50 off of the rail, and then this ollie to 50 over the love seat, signature layback air, and that was the last trick. That Smith grind was kind of like, all right, that was her Pedro version of what more do you want?
And for me, and I think for the judges as well, it really was the difference between just high-risk tricks that Indy did to get that win here. Then we go to Tristan Rennie, really kind of just quietly crept his way into the top 3. I think he had 4 pretty much perfect runs. He built on each and every one. Such a fun skater to watch. And then Pedro.
Yeah, and then of course Pedro came in on fire. 2 different 540s, big tail grab on a tight transition, switch lip slide after time.
And remember this name, Pedro Quintas. More to come from that skater from Sao Paulo. Give it up to Heymana Reynolds. Dude won the semifinals, qualifying first. Left it all in the park in the finals. Well, thank you guys for watching Vans Park Series men's finals here. More skateboarding to come with the Thrasher Magazine Best Trick Contest. We got a round table with Tony Hawk, Jeff Grosso, and Christian Hosoi. So for now, go to vansparkseries.com or thrashermagazine.com for more. We'll be right back. This is awesome. We've got some legends in the house. Tony Hawk, Jeff Grosso, Christian Hosoi, and myself, Chris Cote. Not a legend. These guys take that category. Well, Brazil came through correct. We had Indy Asp take the win on the women's side of things. Pedro Barros putting on the Pedro show yet again here in Brazil. Every time we come here, we know we're going to get next level energy. The skate park is amazing. Men and women put it to full use. Grosso, your love letters to Brazil. I think a lot of people learned a lot from that episode, and we saw where we've come from in Brazil to where we are now. The progression is just insane from the skateboarding we just saw.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
So for you from the deck watching that, I mean, you've spent a lot of time down here and you did your research. What have you seen from some of the young skaters that we saw today, like Pedro Quintas, Luis Francisco, new guys that are coming up and really raising the whole field of Brazilian skaters?
Yeah, I guess, sure, why not?
Do you think they're inspired by Pedro Barros though? Like, do you see that same sense of attack in them?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Brazilians are all heart, man. You know, it's 110%. They're all in, and they come from. Some of them come from strenuous economic situations. You know, so you know, this is their way out. You know, and they're going to go for it.
The hunger is
and,
there.
You know, and like I said earlier, it's kind of a telenovela thing. They know how to play off of the dramatics of it. They're very passionate, emotional people.
Yeah, we feel that with each and every run. Kristen, I know you've been coming to Brazil for a long time. The first couple times you came down here, were you surprised by the talent level and the fan base for Brazilian skateboarding?
I came down in 1986 and it was kind of like behind, but I could see the heart. I saw the passion and it was there then. And their joy to want to get together and skate with their friends was second to none. It was like when we were at the skate parks at our hometowns, him at Del Mar, him at Skate City, me at, you know, Marina Del Rey. I talked about it just a little bit ago and how that breeds this passion that you're not going to quit, you're never going to give up, and you're going to go for it till the wheels fall off. And I think that I saw that in Brazil back then, and I always told them, I said, there's going to be world champions coming out of Brazil, and, you know, to see it come to fruition, to guess that or to, you know, prophesy that, for me, feels so good to know what I see and what is true. And, you know, with a run like Pedro Barros does in this park and just the locals here, and, I mean, Isadora, just the passion to want to do their best shows in their skating. And when they accomplish their goals and they pull their runs and then they win first place, I mean, that's beautiful to see it all come to fruition today.
Yeah, you know, to have skate superstars like Pedro now on the global scene, for you guys going back, who were some of the first names that you saw coming out of Brazil that really made an impact on skateboarding as a whole?
Well, the number one name is Bob Burnquist, obviously, who changed the game of what we call mega ramp, big air skating, switch skating, doing technical stuff, doing stuff with, you know, putting a gap in a loop, and that kind of thing was just unheard of. And Brazil was already fanatical about skating, but he put them on the map as contenders. And there's been plenty of other talent since then. I mean, there's plenty going to be going in the Olympics next year, including people you just saw.
The first ones I remember were those Lopez brothers. Was it the Lopez brothers? Those
Yeah.
crazy fucking brothers?
Yeah, that one guy that almost got 900s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those dudes were nuts. Like, yeah.
There was one guy down here that was doing frontside 540s when no one was doing it.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he was one of the
Nagel.
first. Yeah,
Nagel was
yeah.
doing frontside fives, and I was blown away because why aren't we doing those in the States? And
Yeah.
to see them going for it and doing things that are just so unique to their location and to their style of hanging out together was something that, I mean, like I said again, to feel it today with the crowd backing up, not only their skaters, but all skaters. They were like backing, you know, Chris Russell, you know, when he failed, but they knew how much passion he has for skateboarding. They could see that, they could feel that, and they're drawn to that. And I think that that's the special part about Brazil, that I'm just always, I mean, I got it tattooed on me, you know, because I feel the love, I feel the passion, and it pushes me all the way through the 80s and skating against Tony and these guys. I mean, that fueled my fire as well. And I know that guys like Sandro Diaz, Lincoln Ueda, the list goes on the legends from here. I mean, there's a small list. I think those guys with Bob Burnquist are like the elite guys. Then you have the new school guys. But those guys really took the fire and just kept that fire burning. And now we see a crop of kids coming up. The girls, I mean, it's incredible what's happening in Brazil.
Well, you look at the park behind us, you know, this is a perfect brand new skate park, but, you know, Grosso, again, in your love letters to skateboarding Brazil, you talk a lot about the DIY scene, especially in Florianopolis. I mean, this is a group of skateboarders that was literally digging ditches in their backyard, making their own bowls, making their own parks. Do you think that had a big effect on how we see these guys skating today, the Pedros, the Luis Franciscos? Guys had to earn it on not so perfect skate parks back in the day.
I don't see how it could not, you know. I mean, it's raw. Like, you know, what they have to skate down here is not, you know, they're not rolling across perfectly manicured cement or whatever. Like, they're out in really raw, gnarly circumstances, and it shows you know, if you can skate under extreme circumstances like that, you can skate anywhere.
When you get from the backyard park to a park like this, it's that much
Excuse me.
easier. Now, of course, Vans Park Series is really inspired and derived from the DIY scene, you know,
Yeah.
the skate parks built under bridges. And to have parks like this now going in, are you seeing that kind of skateboarding kind of raising up to new levels, not just in parks like this, but then back to the DIY parks?
Oh, absolutely, and there's more support for them. They're embraced by cities where these people were building them under bridges, like Burnside, without any sort of a permission, and eventually it caught on, and the city said, "Okay, you guys can have it."
Keep
and now
hammering
other
hard
cities
enough
are
and they'll
like,
let you
"Yeah,
build."
thanks for doing the work for us," because so many cities don't want to put forth any finances or effort, but they do want a skate park. And then the locals just do it themselves. That is the whole vibe. That's the vibe down here too. Even when in the 80s, when these guys found skateboarding but couldn't get the imported goods, they just made their own.
Yeah.
It's always better when you do it yourself. Period. Whether you make your own skate scene. It's you and your friends. You build a ramp, a quarter pipe, a half pipe. You dig a hole. You know, you spread some cement around. It's always more satisfying. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
The thing that's rad about this stop, it's the best stop on the tour because it's a super skate-centric crowd.
They know exactly what to cheer for.
Yeah. So they see the nuances of what people are doing. You know, it's not just flip your body, flip your board, and they appreciate it. They're all skateboarders here, and some of the other stops, it's a little different.
Well, as we go into the next couple stops, these are all permanent parks that are going to be built. Starting with Montreal, the skate scene there is very eclectic from streets to parks. Christian, as we go towards Montreal, we build that park. What are you looking forward to that next stop?
I mean, I'm always looking for versatility and changing the parks up. So for me, I don't want to see the same kind of park. I want to see a park that has different obstacles, different terrain, more vert, less vert. I want to see, you know, rails that are advanced to tranny versus just have a street rail in the tranny park. They should do some things that'll push the skateboarding to a whole nother level. And I think that's where the progression of skateboarding is going to happen. Because these kids, they think that's all they need to practice is in this kind of like mini ramp with extensions and hips. And they're getting good at it. But now how do we have them elevate their skateboarding abilities? I think we need to create the terrain. We got to create a facility that facilitates that transition, and what better way than to build something new?
Yeah,
that's my, 2 cents.
Tear the fucking book up and start over. Like throw the rules out. It's like, okay, we're going to step away from the Olympics. Let that be what it's going to be, and let's do things differently. But right now, we're still kind of in that same mold. Like the second you box a skateboarder in, the skateboarder steps out of the box. Like that's what skateboarding is. So like, let's rip our own fucking box down, man.
I love it. One of my favorite things to see is skaters kind of do the math in their head, figuring out new parks and new spots. And when we have a brand new park built, it's going to be really fun to watch these guys and girls drop in their first run and just see what they can do and decode the mystery of these new parks.
And with a whole new approach. I mean, you can tell just from these events, they're gaining new perspectives and new styles. And like Jeff said, they're thinking outside the box. And they're like, well, maybe I could start from the deck and grind into the park.
Yeah, like they should walk in and be fucking horrified. Like, what am I going to do here? Like that's... And like, okay, build it and leave it and on to the next one. Like, let's not come back because we've already done that. We know what everyone could do there. Like, this is the second time we've been here. I'm pretty sure we know who's the best in this hole, so let's go dig another hole and let's make it different, all the way from a curb to a big giant deep end and everything in between. Let's include everything because at the end of the day, what the Park Series should represent is the fact that we're building skate parks and leaving them for local communities, for all these kids to get together and make friends and grow up and have
experiences like we had growing up together.
It's exactly what the Tony Hawk Foundation does. It puts parks in places for kids to grow up and understand skateboarding and have their own place, their own sanctuary, to whether it's to stay off drugs, stay out of gangs, or just to have a place where you have a place to meet. And why not build a park in Rio? Why not build it in, Florianopolis? These are things that we can do to better communities, and if Vans is, wanting to do that, let's do it all over. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's make a place for people to grow up like we did, in a skate park, learning how to skate, and eventually becoming the best in the world.
The bottom line here is the more skate parks, the better. And that's what we're trying to do here at Vans Park Series. Well, behind us right now, Jeff, you talked about no rules. That's exactly what's happening right here. A best trick event is happening, and basically cash for tricks. I mean, the oldest of the old school style skate contest. We got Chris Pastras down on the deck, and the energy is lighting up. Let's take a look at a few of the bangers we've already seen go down in the last 5 or 10 minutes. With we have opened up to the whole field now. This is our highlights from Best Trick so far. Oh, we've got a new addition.
Where's Jake Wooten? There he is.
Jake. Oh, lip slide.
Why is he on that box thing when he should be olling the gap around the corner? There's the gnarliest thing in the park.
I think he's saving it for last.
Is that it?
When
Whoa,
there's
what happened there?
Whoa.
Doubles run.
Was that a doubles line?
That was incredible.
Stoked to have Cedric Pavich here.
Look
That
at
dude rips.
snatching cash.
These guys have been saving it up. We got more Best Trick coming up. I want to thank Christian, Jeff, Tony. Again, just learned a lot just by standing next to these dudes. Hope you did at home too as well. Let's go throw it over to Chris Pastras now on the deck for Best Trick.
Thank you, guys. Wow, the Best Trick is going off. I'm down here on the deck, and we had Jake Wooten just do a manual to boneless in. We got 10 minutes left on the clock. And let me take you into the format here. So it's our Thrasher extension wall for the Thrasher Best Trick event. It's open to all competitors, so even qualifying skaters who haven't skated for days can jump out there and try the gnarliest things. We got Josh Borden out there, Cedric Pavich. The session has been hot and heavy, going off. And yeah, it's anything goes, Best Trick. We got Tim O'Connor and Matt Marco Cruz on the deck, handing out $2,500 in cash. So whoever's laying something down gets $100 or maybe even more. And I know legend Christian Hosoi is making his way down here as well. Until then, let's join the live event and enjoy the Thrasher Best Trick Contest.
Please let us give you money. Frontside tail slide. Yeah, get it, Cedric. Whoa! Tristan, get over here.
Yeah, backside blunt.
Big old back blunt.
Jake Wooten,
What
oh
are
my
you
God.
thinking, you absolute lunatic?
Please, got it, Jake.
Holy hell. Hey, Mana. Inch him closer to that front invert.
Whoa.
God, that is savage right there.
Pedro
Jete,
Barros.
the back nose pick attempt.
Oh, back tail slide?
I think so. Look, he didn't even come get his money. He's like, I'm going to earn some more on my way over. Yeah, Pedro. And congrats on winning also.
Yes,
Good job.
Cedric. Tristan.
Wow, yeah, Tristan.
Tristan makes everything looks easy,
He
you
does.
know?
I was just gonna say, he's so mellow
Yeah.
about doing something so gnarly.
Oh, my God,
Lord.
I really want to see that one.
Wow.
Get it, Alex? Wow!
What did he just do? I wasn't looking.
50-50, muito style. Alex
50-50.
Sorgenti. Oh my God.
Yeah, we got money for you, Sorgente. Fast playing Varial, Roman Babic, and Sorgente. We got money for you. Roman, we got loot for you.
Quem está distribuindo aqui a bufunfa, os dólares, é o Kyle Berhart, lenda do skate americano. O cara anda muito, hoje compõe aí o corpo de juízes do Vans Park Series.
Oh my God, he's great in his own best trick. I was just thinking.
Yeah, Josh. Layback back Smith.
Layback Smith. Hey, Josh, we got money for you. Josh Borden.
Eamon Reynolds, front side invert. He's so close, Tim. Oh.
Pedro, maybe going for the back Smith, back tail, possibly. Chris Russell whipping around.
Whoa,
oh my God. You lunatic. Wow.
Vocês estão assistindo o Best Trick da Thrasher aqui
Miguel?
no Vans Park Series São Paulo.
Miguel Oliveira.
De calça branca, Jake Wooten. Oh.
Can we get another mic for Christian Hosoi? We got another microphone for Holmes.
I think I can give my mic to Christian Hosoi.
You want to give it to Christian for a little bit?
Yeah. My pleasure.
I guess we're live now, right?
Brazil!
All right, we're live.
What's
All right,
going on out there? Come on, Brazil! Ah! To the vein.
Even if they don't speak English, everybody understands when Christian speaks.
This is incredible skateboarding.
Yeah,
Galera, é o seguinte, eu estou aqui do lado do Christian Hosoi, lenda do skate mundial, um dos caras que mais influenciou aí os skatistas brasileiros, sempre tá aqui.
Uau.
Tá dando um salve aí pra vocês, vou passar o microfone pra ele ficar trocando ideia aqui com o Tim O'Connor
Oh my God,
e comentando
Pedro,
as
come right
manobras,
here.
tá bom?
Come get
Hey,
money,
Chris.
Pedro.
Welcome, man.
Pedro, we got money for you.
Obrigado, Brazil! Obrigado, Brazil! Obrigado, Brazil! Yeah, Pedro Barros, sick back Smith.
Miguel
I don't know,
Oliveira
but
getting in the mix.
Chris Russell is going to blow our minds right now. Come on, Chris. Gosh, just the bail.
Chris Russell.
We got to
focused.
give him money for the bail.
He was real proud
Is
last
there
night.
money to give out to bails? I mean, that
sure.
is the gnarliest bail I've probably ever seen.
If you want it for bails, you mean slams? Purposefully, I'm purposefully bailing.
Slams get money, not bails.
There you go.
Okay. I'm getting the rules as I go.
Yep, we got
I
3
don't know,
minutes.
but
3
Chris
minutes on
is
the
about
clock.
to blow our minds right now, too. He's going for the gap to lip slide around this corner. Ah! He's got it. He's got it. Chris has got that.
Alex going for that back nose
All
pick, I
right.
believe.
How much time are we in? We just started.
That is a lot of vert, is what you just realized when you rode up to that.
2.5 minutes. A lot of pressure. I think we're going to see Chris make his trick.
Yeah, Josh.
Wooten make his.
Pedro Barros getting back in the mix. Wow.
Pedro's going for the nose grind. Oh!
Woo!
All right. Come on, boys.
Yeah, Tristan.
Hey, if there's some collisions, like stopping the time, we'll stop the timer, right? We'll extend the time. So don't feel the pressure. We're gonna let you have time to make the trick. Do I get to make the rules?
You get to make
Am
rules.
I making the rules?
Christian Hosoi.
That's Thrasher, right?
Christian.
Thrasher doesn't listen to the rules. Come
Christian,
on.
it's your world and we're
When
all
has
just
Thrasher
living in
made
it.
the rules? All right, here we go. Jake Wooten.
Oh my God.
Jake Wooten shut down the whole cash
I know,
for
if you
tricks
know
in
Slide
Shanghai.
that,
You remember that?
Just give him the purse. He might do it again. Yeah, Pedro.
Wow.
Going for that back
Pedro going
nose
for
grind.
a nose grind on that. Thank you. Thank you for
Wow,
straightening me
savage.
out. Ronnie Sandoval, keeping me fly.
That one is gnarly. That one just pitches
I'm on
you
camera.
right
I
the
gotta
flat.
look good.
What? Going for the Peter Blunt, the
All
front
right, here we
pivot
go. I'm gonna
fakie.
film this.
Alex Sorgente.
Do two things at once right now.
Oh my God, that is
He's making
so
it look easier and
sketchy.
easier as we go.
What are you doing? You spaz. That is insane.
They're gonna make it in one clip. I'm gonna just keep
Yeah,
it rolling.
Cedric.
Cedric!
Come on over here, bro.
Come
we got
on,
money
Cedric.
for you. Cedric Babich.
Pick up some tail block cash right there.
Both Babich brothers. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, Eddie. That's what I'm talking about.
Miguel Oliveira. We got some money for you for that.
You got to give Cedric extra money for style. Oh! Back lip.
Back lip right there.
Up
Tristan
the
Rennie.
extension. That was insane.
Damn,
Here we
Josh
go.
almost got the
Here we
sugar
go.
cane.
This is it right here. Come on.
Oh!
Insane! Chris Russell in the house. Yeah. Here we go. Two in a row right here.
We're out of time, but we got more money. We're
Wow.
gonna keep it going until we run out of money. We got $1,100 left. Oh my God. We're gonna keep giving out loot. This will keep going until we run out of money. It did, of course. Back lip
Keeping us
definitely
honest
gets
over
loot.
here. Yeah. Got to keep us honest over here. Make sure money's going where it needs to go. I
Yeah,
like
get
it.
over here, Chris.
Skaters looking out for skate, dude. Amazing. Wow. Wow.
Got $700 left.
Here we go.
$700
Here we
left.
go.
We're in the $100 trick realm right now, right? Only hundreds.
I
So
don't
it's
know.
gotta
I
be
think
worthy.
Jake should go for the lip slide myself.
Wow, Sugarcane will get it.
I think the lip slide is like, it's my kind of flavor. Fast, speed.
Oh!
Wow. Effortless.
Damn, made that look easy.
Come
Pedro.
get some more cash.
Pedro, we got
Pedro.
loot for you. Pedro. Come get another 100.
Yeah, Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro, we got 600 left. Dude, my neck is roasted. Oh my God, what do we got going there? Cedric! Oh my God, feeble to fakie.
That was gnarly.
Cedric, come up here, dude. We got loot for you.
All right, here we go.
This might get $1 Brazilian.
Man, that nose blunt is just hard to fathom.
Yeah, that is a nose blunt slide. Oh my
Wow.
God! Alex Sorgente.
Front pivot to fakie.
Peter Blunt to
Sorgente.
fakie. Front pivot to fakie.
He's like, I got more. He's like, I don't need to get the cash.
Does everybody else know that as the Peter Blunt, or is that just Florida?
You,
It's just a regional term. 500 left? 400 left. Got 400 left. Yeah, Alex.
You know what'll be great, guys? If the girls get involved. What do you think? What if the girls come out and like shred next, Park Series? Just tell them to come out. Put down a couple tricks. Show the guys that they can skate best trick.
Yeah, Josh Borden go for the sugar cane. Damn, front feeble attempt, Tristan Rennie.
You know what? I think what we have money for is something new that we haven't seen.
We got hundreds only.
Nose blunt.
It's got to be at least $100 worthy.
I think if he makes that, shut down the event. It'll be over. Just like in Shanghai. It'll be amazing to watch it go down. I mean, look at the crowd. They're waiting for it.
$400 left. $400 left. He's got that. Yeah, Josh. That won't get you any.
All right, guys.
Just so you know. Woo! Yeah, Miguel.
Come on, boys, pull a trick out. We got some cash to hand out. All right, Brazil, get behind these guys. Come on, Brazil. Come on, Brazil. These guys are putting it on the line.
Salva de Palmas.
We've got, what, $400 left? $400 left.
Oh my God, go for the eggplant revert.
Let's make it happen, here we go.
The burn twist.
Jake Wooten came out, he heard there's $400 left. He's like, I want it all. Yeah, I want it all. You will get it all, Jake, just like you did in China.
Nose blunt slide,
do it.
Cleans out the bank.
Do it, shut it down.
Yeah, Miguel.
No pressure though.
That was sick, but we're not giving money for that one.
Josh Borden, come on, Josh. Sugarcane that bad boy.
Wow, going for the Smith grind, yeah, Alex.
What is he doing? Is he going to tail?
Louis Elliott out there looking like he's in Lambda, Lambda, Lambda.
270 to tail.
Revenge of the Nerds reference.
All right, all right.
Whoa. Good save.
Do we have like a money cleanup crew? Like who took home the most money so far? Do you keep a tally?
Might be equal with Sorgente, Tristan, and Pedro.
All right. Come on, Borden!
Yeah, Josh.
Here we go. What's this?
What are you doing? He's trying to invent skateboarding all over again. This is, I'm gonna reinvent the push. Who invented the push? Is that Animal Chin?
I think the lip slide would be the one.
The lip slide,
looks
yeah.
Deadly.
That lip slide is absolutely ludicrous. Woo. Cedric hunting around Sao Paulo for bubble butts.
That'll be sick. Yes. Crail tail. We got money burning a hole in our pocket. I don't know if any of you want the money, but
still got 400 left. 400 bucks. Oh my God, there you go. He figured something out. Oh my God!
All right, all right.
Did you just see what Alex just tried?
Yeah.
Front 270, fakey 50-50.
Do we get to split the money between the four of us if they don't land any more tricks, Ryan? Because
$400 left. $400.
Roman, do we got an egg revert? Here we go, egg revert right here. You got that.
I love that you're keeping the shirt on. It's like a homeless guy cape. You are such a weirdo. I love it. No, not at all. Disaster to tail. Yeah, if the trick is worthy, give it more than 100.
Time's running out, fellas.
Animalistic.
And I'm about to pay for my parking at the airport.
Miguel Oliveira's hair is straight up heinous.
All right. 270.
Yeah, Alex, get that. Oh my God.
Yes. Just air over, land on the backside, and just go straight. That would be sick.
Kyle said he's skating the dark side of the best trick
I called
obstacle.
it from up top. Somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah, Miguel.
All right, looks like we got something to say. We got $400 that we're gonna hand out to whoever lands the next gnarly trick. So you got some serious incentive.
Next gnarly trick.
Next gnarly trick gets all the cash.
400 smackaroos. 400 clams. 400 coconuts.
Come on, we're looking for something gnarly.
Oh! There you go, Roman. Roman, you just close it out. Get up here. We got $400 for you.
Yeah, boy.
That is it for the best trick. We're out
Shut
of
it down.
Roman, get up here.
Man,
We'll shut it down.
Ripped his shirt.
Absolutely. He focuses, and I think he focused his butthole too. That was like 5 different attempts to focus his board with his butt. Rolled his sphincter. Yeah, Roman.
Baby. That's how.
$400.
Save it for when the big money comes out.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Yeah, Roman. Respect.
That's sick. That's sick.
That's it. That's it, Sao Paulo.
It's a wrap.
That is a wrap. Obrigado, Sao Paulo.
Wow, what an ending there. Roman Pabic shutting down the Thrasher Best Trick Contest. I want to thank you all for tuning in to stop number 2 of the Vans Park Series from here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I hope you could feel and hear the energy back home. It was so insane. I want to congratulate our winners, Indiara Asp and Pedro Barros, storybook ending here on their home turf. We will see you guys July 13th in Montreal, Canada for stop number 3. Thank you for tuning in to stop number 2. We love you, and we'll see you July 13th. Peace.